This is Trojan football on Girard Sports Live.
We'll send Saporito in motion. Straight drop, Graham pumping. Double move, Derby McReynolds trying to get over there. And he does! What a recovery by Derby McReynolds!
Girard Sports Live is presented by Craw-Can Telephone, your community technology partner. Also by Ag Choice of Hepler, American Family Insurance, Jenny Collins Agency, Bender on 7, Bradshaw Collision Repair, Bumper to Bumper, Call Service, Chicken Annie's Girard, Community National Bank and Trust, Derailed Commodity, Evans Motors, Farm Bureau Financial Services, G&W Foods, Girard Medical Center, Hydrix Appliance, Jagged Edge, Canar Eye Care, Kim Kravitz Photo, Larid Ceramics, Lehman Realty, Mathis Drugstore, McClellan Sanitation, Norris Advertising, Paoni Dental, the Producers Co-op Agronomy Center, the Market 120, and the Producers Co-op Farm Store.
Two wide receivers near side. Curran in the slot. Chitano, the wide out. Norris going to throw it up. He wants Troike over the top. He makes the catch. What a throw! He threw it in the breadbasket of Evan Troike on a rope. What a throw from the 30 down to the 20.
It's time for Trojan football on Girard Sports Live.
And good Friday evening, football fans. Welcome to the weekend. Welcome to week number 4 of the 2018 high school football season. We are in Coffee County. We are in Burlington, Kansas, the side of this Class 3A District number 2 matchup between two of the favorites to win this district, the Girard Trojans and the Burlington Wildcats. Good evening, everyone. BJ Harris along with you, alongside me, Dale Shireman, as we settle in for another good one here tonight. The Girard Trojans coming off a really good win last Friday night, a comeback victory, a game where they dominated most of that contest, but had to win it in stunning fashion. Got the ball late in the fourth quarter, and marched down the field to get a late touchdown to win it 23-16 over Columbus and give themselves a head of steam into this ball game. Big night receiving from Evan Troike, along with a good night tossing the ball from Ty Norris. Plenty of time to throw the ball as well. Trojans want to try to establish the run here tonight. We'll see if they can do it against the Burlington Wildcats. 2-1 as well. They're coming off a really good win for them as well, 34-12 at Wellsville. Wellsville's got wins over district opponents Anderson County and Iola in big fashion in both of those ball games. So if you're trying to compare schedules, that's one way to do it. They'll be led by Brandon Nordstedt, 372 yards on the ground already in 3 ball games, averaging 5.2 per carry, 71 carries already on the year. Cale Johnson, 272 on the ground for him, but he averages 12.4 on the carries, so only 22 carries, but when he does, he's effective. Those two will get the ball a lot. This is a kind of a 2-quarterback set. They run wings as well. It's tough to spot the ball at times, and we'll do our best to keep you up to date on it as it goes through. But the Trojans a year ago, a really not a great ball game. A Kansas Shrine Bowl participant, Connor Jeffers, had over 400 yards rushing, I think 5 touchdowns in the contest. They don't have him this year, and we'll see if they're the same team without him. As you bring you in here, Dale, and the Trojans, that game last week against Columbus, what a great one it was.
It was. It was a great game for the Trojans to test themselves. We're down, and it's a gut check anytime you're down, and they came back in great fashion, won that game big time.
Well, plenty to talk about here on the pregame show. We're going to have highlights from last week's ball game. We'll show you that when we come back out of the break. We're also going to talk with head football coach of the Girard Trojans, Neil Philpott. We'll have your keys to the game, starting lineups, opening kickoff here from Burlington. The Girard Trojans battle the Wildcats tonight here on Girard Sports Live. Highlights coming next.
Community National Bank and Trust has been serving the area for 30 years with a strong commitment to the highest quality leadership and banking services. Stop in soon to pick up your very own Girard Trojan Instant Issue Mascot Debit Card. While you're there, be sure to ask about My Mobile Money and mobile banking, Guardian Secure Checking, and People Pay. Learn more online at mybankcnb.com. Community National Bank and Trust is a proud supporter of Girard Schools. Go Trojans!
Crawcan Telephone Cooperative has been serving Girard in southeast Kansas for 65 years. In 1952, we helped our members connect with each other using telephone lines. Today, we connect our members with the entire world using fiber optics. While the technology has changed, our commitment to deliver it to our members has not. Check us out on the web at ckt.net.
The Producers Co-op Farm Store is committed to making your life easier by supplying you with the things you need for your farm and home. As always, the Producers Co-op Farm Store has a great selection of farm and ranch supplies, including pet supplies, ranch and corral building supplies and equipment, automatic waterers and feed bunks, tack, dog food, pet and animal health supplies, workwear, boots, and much, much more. Come in and check out the great deals on lots of new merchandise as well. Proudly serving Girard and the surrounding area, and proud to support the Girard Trojans.
When I wake up in the morning, love, and the sunlight hurts my eyes, then I look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day, lovely day.
This is Trojan Football on Girard Sports Live.
Back here on the Community National Bank and Trust pregame show. B.J. Harris along with you, alongside me, Dale Sharman, as we get ready for this one. The Girard Trojans, though, trying to build some momentum from they had a week ago when they got a good win over the Columbus Titans. We'll take you back to that and let you see some of the highlights from a week ago. Snap. Graham will send Saporito in motion. Straight drop, Graham pumping. Double move, Derby McReynolds trying to get over there. And he does! What a recovery by Derby McReynolds! Third down and 9. 3 trips to the far side. Single receiver to the near side is Saporito. Shotgun snap. Walden going to stand and block. Graham lets it fly. Intercepted. Another one. That's Lallemand. He's got it back all the way inside the 30-yard line. It's a pick. Second straight time by the Trojan defense. Kirby to the far side. Near side, Shirtano. Norris under center. 7 yards out. Turn, handoff. Good cut. It's a big hole for Curran. Cuts back against the grain. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Trojans. Creed Curran. A 7-yard touchdown plunge for the Trojans. Norris mishandled it. Now he makes something happen. He's going the opposite direction. Into the end zone. Touchdown. Ty Norris knocks it into the end zone. And the Trojans are back in front on the 12-yard touchdown run on a busted play by Ty Norris. And the Trojans now lead it 13-8 of this drive that started with 1:02 to play in the third. Turn rolling near side now for Graham, looking downfield. Trojans have it pretty well covered up. It's intercepted! Intercepted! Near side return. Creed Curran, he's got the pick. The third interception of the ball game. And the Trojans get the stop. Here was 7:41 to play in the ball game. 2 wide receivers far side, 1 near side. Cassidy back, still in at quarterback. He'll send Walden out in the flat. They'll throw it right over the middle, trying to get there, and it's intercepted! Evan Schweike with the pick, and he'll go down, but he gets the turnover. It's the 4th interception by the 4th Trojan in the ball game, and the Trojans get it with 1:43 to play. 59 seconds to play.
Third down and 1.
Third down and 1 here for the Trojans at the Titan 41-yard line. Troike the wide out to the near side. Norris going to keep it himself. Quarterback keeper off the left side. Right side. Down the sideline he goes. He puts the Jets on. He's inside the 25. All the way down inside the 25. The Trojans have a chance. 51 seconds on the clock. 41 seconds to play. In this ball game, Trojans trail by 1. 3rd and 17. Play clock at 6, now 5. Norris pumping, throwing it. He's got Troike down the sideline. He makes the catch. He's in the end zone! In the end zone! Are you kidding me? A 23-yard touchdown on what was another dime by Ty Norris. And another fantastic catch by Evan Troike. I thought Evan was running the fastest he could run, and then all of a sudden he went faster because he had to. to make that catch. And what a play. I can't believe it. 34 seconds. The Trojans took over that at their own 49 with a 107 with 34 seconds. They've got the lead. And Trojans are going to go to victory. And the Trojans are going to win it. What a game. What a game. What a game. The Trojans win one over the Columbus Titans. What a way to open up the new Frank Jameson Field. What a way to get win number 2 on the season, as the Trojans will move to 2-1, and they will begin district play with some big-time momentum as we head up to Burlington next Friday night. Some momentum, we hope, indeed, as they will take on the Wildcats in just a little bit. When we return here on the Community National Bank and Trust pregame show, we will talk to the head football coach of the Girard Trojans, Neil Philpott. This is the Community National Bank and Trust pregame show, serving the area for over 30 years. Stop in soon to pick up a very own Girard Trojan instant issue mascot debit card. Community National Bank and Trust, a proud supporter of Girard schools. Learn more online at mybankcnb.com. Girard Sports Live is presented by Pregame, your community technology partner. They'll get bit by slow speeds and high prices. Get Gigabit, the fastest internet in Southeast Kansas, with Pregame. To learn more, go to ruralfiber.org or see everything Pregame has to offer at ckt.net. Headband for the Trojans coming up next here on the Community National Bank and Trust pregame show on Girard Sports Live.
The best place for your pregame or postgame meal is Bender on 7. The Bender has quickly become Girard's favorite restaurant, with incredible specials like the famous Taco Tuesdays, 3 tacos for $1. Wednesdays, try the adult grilled cheese. Thursdays is chili dog day, and of course, Friday, game day, is steak tips after 5. Grab a friend, grab a drink, and grab a seat at the Bender on 7, where they're streaming Girard Sports Live right now. Bender on 7. Order now. 620-724-4860.
Mathis Drug Store Incorporated has a proud Girard history of more than 50 years. Glenn and Karen Mathis took over the store in 1983 from Glenn's father and have been providing outstanding customer care and service since. At Mathis, they know their customers by name and value their support. Primary goal is to provide fast, accurate, friendly service. Mathis is a full-service pharmacy that accepts most insurance plans and supports competitive cash pricing. Mathis Drug Store, a proud supporter of Girard High School student-athletes.
G&W Foods is the one-stop shop for everything you need to feed the family. With a great selection of quality, fresh, and delicious foods, you're sure to find something to satisfy every appetite. With friendly and knowledgeable staff, the folks at G&W Foods can help you find what you need so you can get in, get out, and on your way with your day. Plus, don't forget G&W Foods for the great daily lunch specials. Open 7 days a week. Check out their weekly Facebook-only specials. The G&W Foods family super wishes the Girard Trojans the best of luck.
Girard Medical Center now offers both outpatient pulmonary and cardiac rehabilitation services. Our approach combines physical therapy, respiratory therapy, behavioral health, and nutrition to help you become more fit and active.
With cardiac and pulmonary rehab, we want to focus on lifestyle changes. We provide people with education to help prevent further events.
Each treatment is unique to the individual patient because at Girard Medical Center, we care for our communities one patient at a time. Call us at 620-724-5126.
This is Trojan Football on Girard Sports Live.
Ag Choice of Hepler is a proud supporter of Girard Trojan Athletics. Of course, Ag Choice has all the products you need to keep your crops growing, like fertilizer, crop protection products, and seed. But Ag Choice is also the first stop for keeping your livestock operation going, with a great selection of farm supplies, equipment, and quality feeds. To find solutions to all of your agricultural needs, contact Joe Murphy of Ag Choice of Hepler at 620-368-4347. Ag Choice of Hepler is a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans.
For over 80 years, Evans Motors has provided some of the best handshakes in the 4-state area. No matter what type of handshake a situation calls for, Evans Motors will guide the hand into its proper position with the correct amount of pressure. Risky handshakes, classic handshakes, or something in between, Nate and Eddie have an arsenal of shakes, roughly umpteen. So the next time you want an optimal handshake, come to Evans Motors in Pittsburgh.
Peony Dental is a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans. Chris Peony DDS offers exceptional dentistry for all ages in a friendly atmosphere. In fact, Chris Peony has been caring for smiles since 1993. No wonder so many Trojan fans look so good. Peony Dental offers preventative care, Invisalign, whitening, bridges, crowns, and more. Stop by today and ask about the all-new CEREC dental system, offering same-day crowns, start to finish, right there in the office. To learn more, visit them at 106 South Ozark in Girard or go online to peonydental.com.
It's time for our anniversary sale. D-Rail Commodity Flooring and Furniture is celebrating over 50 years in business. From humble beginnings 50 years ago, HMS Enterprises has grown to 16 stores. With our buying power, we can offer you the best in truckload savings with some carpet styles starting at $7.20 a square yard. Save big in September with these amazing anniversary sale special prices on carpet, LVT, remnants, furniture, and more. Register to win a $500 shopping spree in-store.
This is Trojan Football on Girard Sports Live.
Welcome back to the Community National Bank and Trust pregame show here on Girard Sports Live. BJ Harris along with you as we get ready to talk to the head football coach of the Girard Trojans, Neil Philpott. And Coach, boy, coming off a really good win over Columbus last Friday night, one where I kind of felt like you guys, controlled the game for the most part, but darn it, you were down by 1 point with just about a minute to play in the ball game and had to have some heroics to win the game. As you kind of went back and looked at that one, did you kind of feel the same way about your overall ball game, and then talk about that ending a little bit?
Yeah, it was, our defense played really well for the most part of the game, minus a handful of plays here and there. I felt like our defense kind of controlled it. We gotta learn to finish drives better. I mean, we left a couple of drives inside the red zone that we weren't able to burn on, maybe 3 of them. So those things come back to bite you a little bit, and then, you get down to it. You give them an opportunity. We had a chance to ice the game with a turnover, and then we give it right back to them with a couple minutes left, and then they go down and score and puts us down, and then we got to have a dramatic ending to go down there and get the win. But, it's a good win for our, program. I know Columbus is down maybe a little bit this year, but they've been a good program. Mm-hmm. They've got good ball players on their team still. They're good, well coached, and for our kids to go out and get a win like that over a quality opponent is a step in the right direction for sure. And the other big thing is that hopefully we can build on some of our kids start to see that you fight to the last play and keep in it and keep working, and good things will happen. That's a big thing we got to take away from it, and I think some of our kids will see that.
Well, as you kind of still look back at that Columbus game a little bit, and I thought for Ty Norris, that's probably the best game he's had under center for the Trojans, and a nice little safety valve to have where you can just kind of throw it up, but the timing between him and Evan Choike seemed to be right on, and in general, just a phenomenal ball game for both those guys.
Yeah, Ty played pretty well. There's a couple things that we've got to work on, and timing is big for him. If he can stay on time and throw those routes when he's supposed to, and that gets the ball out of his hand, and we can eliminate sacks and those things. But he and Troike, they have been a pretty good connection so far, and we need to find a way to distribute a little bit around, kind of spread the wealth a little bit. You got a guy like Evan who can, he's a pretty good athlete. You got to try to find a way to get the ball to, and Ty's done a good job of that. So hopefully that continues.
The other portion of that, and it'll come into factor today, is the running game, and there were some bright spots still, but still not something you guys have completely got churning a little bit. What is it that you need to get going to be able to be a little more consistent there between the tackles?
Yeah, we made a few adjustments at halftime just to kind of see what exactly they were doing with their front. And we're able to get it going a little bit. We just got to be able to finish it and stay on blocks a little bit longer and make the right reads in the run game. And Taylor runs hard, and we just got to get him seeing the cut sometimes, and maybe breaking that one tackle in there. That's not all on him. That's our O-line splits. That's some things that we got to do. We got to read it right and just stay on blocks just a little bit longer. And that goes back to finishing. And I think that's been an emphasis this week. I think we've had 7 drives in the last 3 games, and that stopped inside the red zone. We put a little emphasis on that, and that kind of carries out through the whole thing, and just finish the play, and hopefully that improves.
A lot of people will say that this game on the first game of districts, from the outside looking in, and there's other teams in the district that might have something to say about it. This could be a de facto district championship game because these are 2 of the teams that have kind of won it in the past couple of years, and might be some teams that would be favored in this district. And so right out of the gate, you get the Burlington Wildcats, a team that's plays that unique offense. Talk about preparing for that, what it takes to do that in practice this week, and then what Burlington does well that kind of scares you.
Yeah, it is a unique offense. It's a ground and pound. They're trying to run the ball and get bodies out in front of it, and they do a good job. They know what they're doing. They've run the same system for years now, and their kids have figured it out, and they play with an attitude. They play low and try to get movement, and if you let them do those things, it's going to be a long night. And like a year ago we saw it. You got a guy back there that can turn on the jets a little bit. They can make that little ground and pound game into big gainers, and that's just the way it is. They wear you down, and then next thing you know, they pop a 60-yard run on you. We've got to be physical. We've got to play with leverage. We've got to play our responsibilities and stay at home when we need to, because they'll come back with some counters and things that cause you problems. And it very much well. I don't know if it's the district championship, you might say. I think there's plenty of teams out there that like you said, you got to play each week, but it'll be a test for us early in districts, and we gotta come prepared. Well, it's exciting right now with the big win last week. Hopefully, keep it going, Coach. We appreciate your time as always, and good luck tonight. Thank you. Appreciate it. Head coach of the Girard Trojans, Neil Philpott, joining us here on the Community National Bank and Trust pregame show. We will step away, take a quick break. Still to come. Got your starting lineup, keys to the games, opening kickoff from Burlington. Trojans Wildcats next on Girard Sports Live.
Chicken Annie's Girard is a proud supporter of Trojan Athletics. Chicken Annie's of Girard serves up the area's best fried chicken and a whole lot more. Check out their weekly specials like chicken and noodles on Wednesdays, Thursday nights kids nights, and Friday boneless wings. Oh, and don't forget about those delicious homemade pies. Stop in or enjoy their mouth-watering favorites at home with carry-out and catering available. Chicken Annie's Girard, continuing a Southeast Kansas tradition. Learn more at chickenanniesgirard.com or call 620-724-4090.
If you're in the market to buy or sell a house, land, or commercial space, look no further than Lehman Realty. Locally owned and operated, Jason Lehman and his staff are ready to meet the needs of every client. When it comes to your listing, you can trust that Lehman Realty will take the time to get to know you and your property. Lehman Realty is a proud supporter of Girard Trojan Athletics. Learn more at www.lehmanrealty.net. or call Jason at 620-724-8020.
McClellan Sanitation is a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans. McClellan Sanitation is also proud to have been serving Girard and the surrounding area for decades. McClellan Sanitation offers residential, commercial, and roll-off services. As a locally owned and operated company, owners Dave and Candy McClellan and their employees are dedicated to providing the highest quality customer service. To learn more, call McClellan Sanitation at 620-724-8486. McClellan Sanitation wishes the Girard Trojans the best of luck this season.
Community National Bank and Trust has been serving the area for 30 years with a strong commitment to the highest quality leadership and banking services. Stop in soon to pick up your very own Girard Trojan Instant Issue Mascot Debit Card. While you're there, be sure to ask about My Mobile Money and Mobile Banking, Guardian Secure Checking, and People Pay. Learn more online at mybankcnb.com. Community National Bank and Trust is a proud supporter of Girard Schools. Go Trojans!
This is Trojan Football on Girard Sports Live.
Ag Choice of Hepler is a proud supporter of Girard Trojan Athletics. Of course, Ag Choice has all the products you need to keep your crops growing, like fertilizer, crop protection products, and seed. But Ag Choice is also the first stop for keeping your livestock operation going, with a great selection of farm supplies, equipment, and quality feeds. To find solutions to all of your agricultural needs, contact Joe Murphy of Ag Choice of Hepler at 620-368-4347. Ag Choice of Hepler is a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans.
For over 80 years, Evans Motors has provided some of the best handshakes in the four-state area. No matter what type of handshake a situation calls for, Evans Motors will guide the hand into its proper position with the correct amount of pressure. Risky handshakes, classic handshakes, or something in between, Nate and Eddie have an arsenal of shakes, roughly umpteen. So the next time you want an optimal handshake, come to Evans Motors in Pittsburgh.
And back out here, Burlington High School, the side of this Class 3A District 2 matchup between the Girard Trojans and the Burlington Wildcats. B.J. Harris and Dale Sherman along with you as we settle in here for another great night of high school football. And as we do, we take a look at your starting lineup. Starting lineups brought to you by our good friends there at Jagged Edge. Made Dale look good today, Dale. You
Did. We want to throw a big thank you to Robin Hawkins. Did me well.
Face for radio here on video. Starting lineups brought to you by Jagged Edge. The Trojans will start this game in style, but nowhere near the level of style you'll find at the Jagged Edge. Stylist Carla Sands, Robin Hawkins. If she can make Dale look okay, she's must have some magic hands. Eva Vietti will have you looking your best for your next big game. Make an appointment soon by calling 620-724-7500. And always nice to have some really good shots of the games, and we had some good ones again last week in that great ball game. There's a good look at Ty Norris. He had the best game of his high school career, I believe, the other night. Shot of the game brought to you by Kim Kravitz Photo. There is Ty with that look in his eyes. He looks to keep the ball moving down the field. A huge 19-yard run. The touchdown pass to Troike was something, but the 19-yard run on 3rd and 1 before that that allowed them to get the ball closer was a big one for them. Kim Kravitz Photo is a boutique photography studio specializing in high school senior pictures and sports photography. Let Kim capture your memories. Learn more at kimkravitzphoto.com or call 620-704-7474. Keys the Game brought to you by, actually we'll do area matchups first. Area matchups brought to you by our friends at Bumper to Bumper of Girard, formerly Brenneman Auto Parts. Bumper to Bumper has been serving the area since 1935. Stop by Bumper to Bumper if you're in the need for belts, Bosch brake pads, Wix filters, time bearings, and so much more. Bumper to Bumper, 101 East Prairie Street in Girard. And obviously district play in 3A is underway. Caney Valley at Columbus in District 1. This winner of District 1 plays number 4 District 2. Second place team in District 1 plays third place team in District 2. And that's your championship. That's the playoff possible brackets. Galena 3-0 at Frontenac. That's probably one of the big matchups in 3A. Parsons 3-0, a surprising 3-0. They may go to 4-0 at Baxter Springs tonight. The other matchup in this district is Iola at Anderson County. And Osawatomie. And who's the other side of this bracket?
Prairie View.
And Prairie View play tonight as well in this 3A District 2 matchup. And then in 2A District 1, they're underway as well. Humboldt at Jayhawk Lynn, Riverton at Erie, 0-3 and 1-2 respectively. Northeast at Southeast. The old matchup there between those two teams. SEK, good matchup, always one of the great matchups and one of the great rivalries in Southeast Kansas. Fort Scott at Pittsburgh. Tonight, Fort Scott 2-1 and Pittsburgh 3-0. Opening kickoff is brought to you by, of course, Larrett Ceramics, 503 West Maple and Girard. Stop by Larrett Ceramics for great gift ideas and supplies. Get creative when it comes to gift buying and get your friends and family a beautiful ceramic piece or sign up for classes. Larrett Ceramics, 620-724-8442. They are got to get their clocks fixed in Burlington 2 minutes early. They all operate on a pretty tight schedule here for this one, but we're ready to get things underway here in this matchup. The Girard Trojans and the Burlington Wildcats. Wildcats going to return it. They're going to get very good field position, fielded at the 25-yard line. Near side return that cuts back against the grain. Breaks a couple more tackles up near the 40-yard line and finally brought down as they bring it in. And a good run there on the first touch of the football for Braden Sloyer on the return there for the Wildcats. And that's where they will start as they move from right to left. Start at the 37. And the clock in like the worst possible location. 11:53 to play. Turn, hand up the middle. Stopped initially. And going to be brought down for a short gain, maybe 2. On the dive up the middle. Good hold there. On that carry by number 3 for the Wildcats, Brandon Nordstedt. He's the guy we said had a lot of yards, Dale, and they get a dive up the middle. Trojans hold it.
No question about it. We're going to have to stop that offensive line from pushing through there.
They get low. Trojans got to get lower. 4-man front. They'll walk up and put a bunch of guys in the box. There's 9 of them, 10 of them. Turn, hand off again. Trojans bury it. Carter Doherty up in front. Coming up along with Chandler Humble, filling that linebacker spot. And a good stop there, a yard maybe on the play. On another carry there by Nordstedt. Actually, that's number 11, Tegan Hess. And so a 1-yard gain there. Turn, end around, coming this way. He's got a little bit of a hole. Makes off one tackle, and he's off and running. Down the sideline, up to 40, 35, going to outrun the defense. And he's going to score down the sideline. That's Cale Johnson, the speedy guy. And that's a 60-yard touchdown run to get things started on the first carry of the ball game for Cale Johnson. And 3 plays later, the Trojans suddenly find themselves down 6-0.
Trojans have to wrap up. 3 guys had contact with him. None of them brought him down. We're going to have to wrap up.
And so the Wildcats going to strike first here in this one with 10:44 to play. They'll kick the point after attempt. Now going to run 2-point conversion, trying to end around, trying to stretch it to the edge. And going to be bottled up, and he will get in for the 2-point conversion. On the quarterback keeper for the Wildcats, and just like that, Trojans find themselves in an early hole. We'll see if they can bounce back when they return on offense. In 30 seconds, you're watching Trojan football on your home for Trojan Athletics, Girard Sports Live.
When I wake up in the morning, love, the sunlight hurts my eyes, then I look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day, lovely day.
Well, look at that score right there. Only 10:44 to play in this first quarter. And the Trojans already find themselves in an 8-point hole here on the road in Burlington. And now they need to figure out what they need to do to get this thing righted when they get their ball hands on the football for the first time. Kickoff and a return far side. Creed Curran trying to pick his way through and get it tripped up across the 30. And he'll be brought down at the 31-yard line. That's where the Trojans will start. There's still a lot of football to be played, Dale. And so for the Trojan offense, they don't need to change their game plan any, I don't think. Just go in and do what you were planning on to do, and now you find yourself down by 8.
No question about it. You know, that was just a quick score and a couple missed tackles right there. Girard just needs to come out and run their game.
One wide receiver to the far side, one to the near side. Shitano the wide out this way. Curran in the slot, one back is Humble. Turn, handoff to the big fella. Trying to find his hole, breaks one tackle. Up near a first down. He's going to be shy, an 8-yard carry on first down there for Humble.
Nicely done there. Big hole opened up. Humble runs through an arm tackle and does what he does.
Yeah, it was a good hole on the near side, and he found that hole. We're going to give him 9 on it. They give him a pretty generous spot, and we'll take it. Burlington Band right down here in front of us. That's always a good location. Ty Norris turn, handoff. The second guy through his Curran. He's got the first down up across the 43 to the 44-yard line. And that'll be a gain of 4 and a first down there for Creed Curran. And the Trojans inside. Or not inside, just shy of the 45-yard line. Great facility here in Burlington. Great best press box you probably broadcast from. No AC. Look around. Is there heaters? There are heaters, so we'll take them. 2 wide receivers far side, 2 to the near side. Man goes in motion. It's Troike. Turn out Shirtana, rather. Turn handoff up the middle. Humble. Not much there. Maybe a gain of 2 on the play. And it will bring up a second down and 8 for the Trojans. Clock continues to tick here. 9:25 to play. Trojans down by 8. 60-yard touchdown run by Cale Johnson on his first touch of the ball. And we said he doesn't have a ton of carries, only 22. That was his 23rd carry, but he averages over 12.4. It's because of plays like that and his breakaway speed. 1 to the far side, 1 to the near side. Straight drop. No handoff. Curran can't get out of the grasp of the defender. Hard hit on that far side as well. And a penalty flag going to come in. That may be because of that late hit or that hard hit. Good tackle on that far side made by number 21, Jared Lutz. And it is going to be the personal foul. They're going to say he got a horse collar on him.
We'll take it.
I didn't see that either.
Kind of whipped him down there at the end. Not sure if that's what they saw.
And so the Trojans will get a break there. They'll march that football forward from the line of scrimmage is where they threw that flag. So that's where it'll be, 15 yards from the end of the play. And so a big-time break there for the Trojans. Ends up being no gain on the play for Curran, but 15-yard penalty to put it inside Wildcat territory, inside the 40-yard line. And so the Trojans 1st and 10 at the 39. Got to capitalize on this gift right here. 2 to the near side, 1 to the far side. Humble, the only man in the backfield, fumble, and Humble will fall down on top of it. And that might be in just lack of concentration from Ty.
Yeah, it hit him right in the hands. He needs to secure that ball first before he goes to hand it off.
Just a loss of 1 on the play. Loss of 1 will bring up a 2nd down and 11 for the Trojans. Ty Norris going to load one up. He's got Curran, and he missed, throws that one. He had Curran open. I think he had Shortano on that far side as well. He had options there.
Intended receiver number 24, Curran. 3rd and 11.
Well, apologize to those who normally watch on Facebook. You're not watching right now. We have an issue with Facebook. You know, 4th game out, you think you got it figured out, Dale. Alas, you do not. Luckily, you can still watch us on our website, GirardSportsLive.com, and on YouTube.com. So if anybody's wondering about that, that's where you go to find us. That's why you have multiple locations, fallback points. 2 to the near side, 1 to the far side. Norris, straight drop, going to try it again. He's got open mans again. He's got the pass up to the 25-yard line, up to Gage Shortano, and it's a gain of 15 on the pitch and catch.
Pass from Norris completes number 14, Gage Shortano.
And a nice one there for Shortano. Good to get him into the action. And it will be another 1st down for the Trojans. Clock will continue to roll now. 8:07 to go first quarter. Shortano will be split out to the far side. Teams are going to start keying on Evan Troik. He had over 100 yards receiving last week and only almost 100 the week before. Curran will go in motion. Turn, handoff. Going to pull it. Norris. I think it was the right read, actually, but very well played there by Lutz. His 2nd straight tackle he's made, or 2nd big play he's made of this drive, and it's a loss of 4 on the play. You got to read that guy, but you better make sure he's done what you think he's going to do. Otherwise, he'll make plays like that. And the Trojans go backwards, 2nd down and 14. Two wide receivers far side, 1 near side. Turn, handoff, good hard run. Humble going forward, dragging the pile across the 20 up to the 19-yard line. He got about another 6 yards after contact. Ends up being a gain of 9 on the play and gives the Trojans an opportunity here on a 3rd down and 5.
Great hole opened up there for just a little bit. Need to lock on just a little bit longer on them defensive linemen.
Yeah, Chandler did a lot of that work on his own and was able to drag some pile forward just so strong. It is Humble. 3rd down and 5 here for the Trojans. Got to pick up 1st down, keep this drive alive. Norris, turn, hand it off. Curran bouncing against the grain, and he's going to be shy of the 1st down. Maybe a gain of 2 on the play. Yeah, a little too much dancing up inside there. Got to get going forward as quick as possible. They only give him a yard. And it'll bring up a 4th down and 3. And this has been the Achilles heel for the Trojans. They have not been able to finish drives. This one started at their own 31-yard line. They're down inside the red zone, down to the 19, and looking at 4th and 4. This is the 9th play of the drive. And 6:14 off the clock. They've ran over 4 minutes off of it. Curran trying to cut back against the grain, not going to get it. Too good defense there. It ends up being a loss of 2 on the play. And the Trojans will turn it over on downs.
Too many linemen sitting there watching after the play's over. They have to lock on and they have to drive till the whistle blows.
Well, they took over 4 minutes off the clock, 4:02, but couldn't capitalize on it and give it right back to the Wildcats, who scored on a 60-yard touchdown. Look at that. They have 2 quarterbacks back there. Both of them have their hands up. They don't hike it to either one of them. Hike it to the man up front. Now he's got some running room. He's off and running again. Trojans got to get a stop here finally ridden out of bounds on the run there by Brandon Nordstedt. And Nordstedt all the way down across the 40 up to the 43-yard line. And so that's a 22-yard run. 22-yard run by Nordstedt, put it all the way across the 40. Snap, turn, this time going the other direction, trying to stretch out. Good tackle in the open field, well played off the block. Wes Jahay had come down inside there, along with Carter Doherty, helped out, just a gain of 1. That's on the carry to Tegan Hess. And it's going to be just a gain of 1 for Hess. Those two quarterbacks and then a bunch set there. Direct snap to Hess. Nothing doing. Trojans bottle it up and brought down finally by the Trojan defense. Joseph Dixon coming in there from behind, but the pressure up the front for Girard. I think Wes Jahay coming in there, sticking his nose in there from that strong safety spot. A gain of 1. Again for Hess. And it will. The sun's starting to peek out here. It's been a cloudy day all day today. That front starting to move completely through this area and starting to be kind of nice. Snap back, going to pass, rolling to the right side. Nordstedt looking downfield. Trojans not going to get the close, and he'll get the first down the sidelines and outside at the 40 on 3rd down and 8. The Trojans give up a big one there as it's inside Trojan territory up the 40, and that will be a 17-yard run on 3rd and 9. Nordstedt. There was just enough look of pass to make those corners go, but I don't think that ever had any intention of passing it. Turn, spin around, coming this way. Trojans trying to blow it up, and it's brought down. Cale Johnson, last time he touched it, he went to the house. It gives you so much to account for on that offense. So many different guys back there. You don't know where the ball's at. You kind of got to tackle everybody, and Derby McReynolds made the play on that one. It's a modest gain of maybe 1 for Johnson.
Definitely assignment football. You have an assignment, you have to do your assignment.
Timeout going to be taken by the Trojans. They got to try to figure it out. We'll see if they do when we return. You're watching the Trojans versus the Wildcats on Girard Sports Live.
The best place for your pregame or postgame meal is Bender on 7. The Bender has quickly become Girard's favorite restaurant with incredible specials like the famous Taco Tuesdays. 3 tacos for $1. Wednesdays, try the adult grilled cheese. Thursdays is chili dog day. And of course, Friday, game day, is steak tips after 5. Grab a friend, grab a drink, and grab a seat at the Bender on 7, where they're streaming Girard Sports Live right now. Bender on 7. Order now. 620-724-4860.
This is Trojan Football on Girard Sports Live.
This offense gives you so much to account for the Burlington Wildcats. We talked about it, and it's tough to practice because it's so special. If nobody's made their way over to watch Lamar Tigers, this is a much more bunchy set than they do, but it's pretty similar. And Lamar's won 7 straight state titles at Class II football in Missouri, and so it's effective, no doubt about it. Direct snap to Nordstedt, trying to pick his way through. Well blocked down the field, and he's going to fall forward. Looked like it was nothing for a long time. It's going to be a gain of 10. Just like that, he picks up 10 yards, just kind of picking his way through there. And you've talked about for the Trojan offensive line standing under the blocks, it's a requirement to run this offense because of the way you wait for those lanes to pick up, and Nordstedt picks up 10.
That's exactly right. On this offense right here, they're just trying to turn a shoulder for the Girard Trojans defense.
It'll move the chains. 1st down and 10 now for the Wildcats. All those guys bunched up in there. Hand it Nordstedt up inside for Johnson, and he is buried. Quickly hit up there by Colton Kirby, and right off the bat, we've got our Bradshaw Collision Repair hit of the game. If a deer ends up tackling your car like Colton Kirby just tackled Cale Johnson, take it to Bradshaw Collision Repair. Bob Bradshaw offers refinishing, paintless dent repair, glass replacement, and more. Let Bradshaw Collision Repair get you back in the game. Call 620-724-7300. Snap this way. Nordstedt being tracked down. He'll get outside the pocket and knocked it about. Derby McReynolds going to ride him out across the 25 up near the 24-yard line. And they stretch it out there again. It looked like it was bottled up. It was an 8-yard gain.
Yeah. Just going down the line, waiting for that one cut. And, hey, they see it well, and they cut it well.
Well, you can see why this dude's got he's got over 400 yards rushing now in 4 games. This is his 4th game. One wide receiver tight to the far side, then a wing, and then another guy and another guy. The quarterback's back there. Nordstedt going to go straight up the middle. And he'll be hit and brought down, and I wish I hadn't given away my head of the game. Another one by Colton Kirby. He's bringing the hammer a little bit. It's still going to be a gain of about 3 on the play. And there's a lot of improvisation by, I think, the quarterback or whoever gets the ball to kind of read immediately and figure out where that hole is and which way you want to go with it. So now that's an illegal substitution. Can't do that, but they do. Here's a direct snap to Nordstedt. Rolling to his right, looking downfield again. Trojans look like they have it bottled up. He'll flip one fly to the back of the end zone, and it's going to be caught. Not a very good call on that, whether they gave him the touchdown or not. I still don't know. And there finally your arms go up. I don't think either one of them knew either. It looked like he probably got that foot in on that far sideline, but that's a 20-yard touchdown pass. Things have gone from bad to worse here for the Trojans. I didn't see who caught that. All the Trojans have dug in themselves a hole here on the road. They'll line up to go for 2. Snap. Hess. Hit. Oh, and bent backwards. Good hard hit there by the Trojans. It'll stay where it's at right there. And that will be the way this one will end here on this drive. Trojans trail 14-0 when we return. You're watching it here on Girard Sports Live.
For more than 20 years, Call Service has been serving Southeast Kansas. Right now, Call Service has a huge selection of hand-cooked tires, including hand-cooked Dynapro ATM. Farmers and ranchers trust Call Service as their trucks crisscross Southeast Kansas, providing on-the-farm tire service daily. Plus, Calls is a first stop for lube and oil changes. Get back in the game with your new set of hand-cooked tires, never halfway. Available now at Call Service. Check them out online at callservicellc.com or call 620-724-4121.
This is Trojan Football on Girard Sports Live.
3:06 to play in this first quarter. And the Trojans find themselves in a 14-0 deficit here on the road at Burlington. That drive, the Trojans drove all the way down inside. Started at the Burlington 21-yard line with 6:05. And they go 9 plays and cap it off on a 20-yard pass. Fielded at the 11-yard line. Far side return for Curran. Little juke and jive and across the 25 up near the 27-yard line, and that's where the Trojans will start their drive. Well, the Trojans on their last drive had it and drove down the field. They went 11 plays, but turned it over on downs at the 21 after a loss of 2, and they need to finish a drive. They need to do it pretty quickly. 2:59 to play. I was bragging about this press box, and now my back's going to start hurting because I got to lean a mile to see the scoreboard. Norris turn, hand up the middle, nothing doing. Humble trying to make something out of nothing, and he will. He'll get a yard on the straight dive there to the fullback.
The handoff to number 44, Chandler Humble.
And it will be a gain of 1 to bring up a second down and 9 here for the Trojans. Right now, it's old cliche, but cliches exist for a reason. And in this case, it's the battle's going to be won up front. And right now, the battle is being won up front, but it's by the guys in gray and red.
That's no question about it right now. Our offensive line's just not making the holes they need to make.
One wide receiver far side, one near side, that's Kirby. High formation, the tailback's Curran, the fullback Humble. Norris will settle under center. He'll send a man in motion. Slide over, that's Caden Harrison. And Norris is going to drop the ball. He fumbled it at the line of scrimmage, picked it up, and gets going backwards, and he's going to be close to a first down somehow. That went from being really bad to pretty good. Ends up being a gain of about 8 on the play for Norris. And they bring up a 3rd down and 1 here for the Trojans. Well, that would have been real bad if they had fumbled it and jumped on top of it and been looking at 3rd and 9. Now they have a chance to pick up a first down. No reason to get fancy here. Norris appears to be a little confused. He looks to the sideline, gets the call now, puts the call to his running backs. Harrison again, he'll flip. They'll run the same play. I think they were going to run a minute ago. Norris gets behind his blocker. He's going to be close to a first down. That may have been a give on that one. But they're going to be enough for a first down. It'll be a 1-yard gain, and that's all you need. They'll move the chains here. Minute 27 to go, first quarter. And the Trojans trail 14-0. 2 wide receivers far side. One to the near side, Shirtano. Send a man in motion. Turn. Norris cuts back against the grain. Drags forward. And again, that didn't look good from the beginning. But it ends up being a gain of about 1 on the play. Wildcats are getting it in chunks. Trojans are nickel and a diamond right now, and that's okay as long as you keep moving the chains. Brings up 2nd down and 9. Shirtano near side. Kirby far side. I formation. Tied in near side is Harrison. Going to run it this way. Run the option. It's opened up. It looks good. He pulls it and gets stroked down to the ground. On a nice play there by number 40 for them. That is Shane Wright, the 6 foot, 200-pound senior. And he tracked it down. That looked like it was going to open up, and then it quickly didn't.
Yeah, they're stringing it out, and Ty's either got to make a decision quicker to turn it upfield or get rid of the ball, one or the other. So
it was well blocked at the point of attack, but that backside linebacker, in this case it was a play side D end that made the play, and they're going to let the time wind down, and that's the end of the first quarter. 1-2 forget for the Trojans. We'll see if they can get it squared away as we head to the second quarter. You're watching it here on your home for Trojan Athletics, Girard Sports Line.
Girard National Bank is now GN Bank. Family owned and operated, GN Bank has been providing customers with the highest quality of financial services in a friendly and personal way for over 100 years. Whether you have personal, business, or agricultural needs, GN Bank is big enough to handle all of your banking needs, yet small enough to provide you with that personal touch you've grown to expect from a community bank. GN Bank, a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. Learn more at gn-bank.com.
For over 80 years, Evans Motors has provided some of the best handshakes in the 4-state area. No matter what type of handshake a situation calls for, Evans Motors will guide the hand into its proper position with the correct amount of pressure. Risky handshakes, classic handshakes, or something in between, Nate and Eddie have an arsenal of shakes, roughly umpteen. So the next time you want an optimal handshake, come to Evans Motors in Pittsburgh.
Trojans right now trailing it by the score of 14-0 here as we head into the second quarter of play. Trojans looking at a 3rd down and 10 to get this quarter started. Wildcats scored on the 3rd play from scrimmage on a 60-yard run by Cale Johnson. Then they scored on their 2nd drive on a 20-yard pitch and catch. Now the Trojans trying to overcome a 3rd and 10. Norris going to let one fly, throw it down the field. For Choike, he's going to come back. Nope, intercepted. Outside the numbers, and it's going to be a bit of a return, and finally we knocked it out of bounds. And it will be an interception return. Caden Harrison making the tackle, or it may have been even more yards back. And so the last one ended in on a turnover on downs. This one an interception. 11:50 to play in the half. Well, that worked really good last week and looked really good at times. But that time, not so much. And so now the Trojans got to figure out an answer for the Wildcats as they'll start at their own 35-yard line. And up the middle. Nope, trying to come outside. Cuts back against the grain. And It's going to be a lot of running for a couple of yards. Let's see, a gain of 2 on the play.
On the tackle, number 11, taking Hess. And number 53, Carter.
That was Hess on the carry. Or Doherty with the tackle for the Trojans. 1 wide receiver near his side. 2 wings near his side. 2 quarterbacks, naturally. Turn, hand out Norstedt to Johnson. He's bottled up. Joseph Dixon on the far side. He stayed home and was able to make that play. Nice gain there. Nice play defensively there. It's a loss of 3 on the play. And one of the rare negative plays they've had so far. And it's brought down. Loss of 1. Hey, when you go buy jerseys next time, school board, maroon numbers.
Thanks.
Gold numbers, bad. Maroon numbers, good. Everybody bottled up. There are 11 guys within 5 feet of each other. Turn, Johnson throwing it. He's got a man, turns him around. He makes the catch all the way down inside the 45 and 40-yard line. Got Creed Curran turned around and down to the 35 rather. That was number 2 with the catch. And that was from the 34 all the way down here to the 35. A 30-yard pitch and catch on 3rd down. And the Wildcats back in business. Turn. Nope, just going to be a keeper here and easily following his blocks. Big number 56 leading the way for the Wildcats. Owen Marchand. Parker Meats. Oh, that's a great last name for an offensive lineman. 5'11", 200, and a junior. You don't have to be big. That's what's great about this type of offense. It can take guys that are marginal football players from time to time and make them look like heroes. That's a gain of 9 on the keeper by Nordstedt, because you just got to do your job, get low. And right now they're doing it. Turn, handoff. Going to be ripped down. Nice play there for the Trojan D. That's D. Weidman making initial contact. Joseph Dixon in there as well for the Trojans. It will be a 1st down, but just a gain of 1. That's on the handoff to Hess. That wasn't Hess. He just came into the ballgame. It's impossible to figure out who they are on the field.
They're so bunched up right there.
Back to Nordstedt, rolling to the left side, just trying to pick his way. He's got some running room, and it's going to be another nice gain of 10. That time somebody came in and stroked Tegan Hess, but it looks good, but it was not effective because they cut back in there, not a lot of help. That's probably, you got to keep that outside contained, but Nordstedt going to rumble forward for a pretty easy 9 yards.
We're getting our defensive end sealed. He's got to be able to stretch with that, make them turn back inside where the rest of our linebackers are.
This will bring up the 7th play of this drive that started at their own 35-yard line, now down inside the 15. Snap to Hess. He'll turn handoff Johnson. Johnson going to fall forward for the 1st down, a gain of 3 on the play.
The give to number 1, K.F. Johnson.
And it will bring up a 1st down. Now Trojan defense going to have to bend. You fall behind three touchdowns against this type of offense, this game will be over at 9 o'clock, and you'll be wondering what the heck happened.
That's right. Defensive line has to man up there. They have to make a pile. That's the way they're scoring, or they're getting all their yards, is right up the middle. Got to make a pile to make them run around it.
1st down and 10 from the 11. This is Nordstedt coming this way. Cut it back against the grain into the end zone. Touchdown. Trojans are stretching out. There is no help coming from the backside. They are getting blocked, and that's an 11-yard touchdown, and the Trojans are finding themselves in a situation here.
We've talked about it before. Our defensive line has to make a double team. They have to force a double team. That way our linebackers can come clean. They're not. We cannot afford to do that.
Well, 3 touchdowns, 3 different guys. Nordstedt's been the heavy lifter so far, but now they'll line up to go for 2. Snaps back in a roll. Nordstedt looking downfield. Now he'll just tuck it and waltz into the end zone easily on the 2-point conversion. 11-yard touchdown run by Nordstedt, and a 2-point conversion good by him as well. And with 8:14 to play in the first half, Trojans find themselves down 22-0. We're back in 30 seconds. You're watching Trojan football on Girard Sports Live.
Crawcan Telephone Cooperative has been serving Girard in southeast Kansas for 65 years. In 1952, we helped our members connect with each other using telephone lines. Today, we connect our members with the entire world using fiber optics. While the technology has changed, our commitment to deliver it to our members has not. Good luck, Trojans, from your friends at Crawcan. Check us out on the web at ckt.net.
This is Trojan football on Girard Sports Live.
3 possessions, 3 touchdowns for the Burlington Wildcats. They only miscue as they did get a 2-point conversion on one of them. Right now they lead at 22-0 for the Girard Trojans. I may have stepped on it when I talked to Coach Philpott, said this might be a de facto district championship game. I might have been half right. But right now the Trojans, a much better team than this. And again, I mentioned it, this offense is tough to defend. There's a reason teams run it, because it can make you look real good. And you have a ton of yards, and if it works, there's a way to stop it, though. And the Trojans have yet to figure that out. They need an offensive score desperately. They need an offensive score like I need hair. Here's the kick from the 40. Right-footed kick. Take a big bounce. Trojans, bad to worse. Over the head of Curran. He'll try to return it. Breaking a few tackles. Sometimes the coverage will overrun things, and Creed lucky to get back to where he did. That took a really high bounce. I don't blame him for that one. I didn't expect that thing to do that either. But it's going to be returned across the 15 up to about the 17-yard line. That's where the Trojans will start.
Ball is on their own 18-yard line.
They call on to the 18 with 8:03 to play. Trojans have had some success at times, but also have squandered their opportunities. They had it down inside the 20 on their first drive to answer back and couldn't score. Here's Norris. Turn handoff. Humble. Backwards going, backside going forward across the 20, up to the 23-yard line. And it's going to be a gain of 5 for Humble.
Good hard run by Humble. Just got to get up one more level. Our linemen are making the block up front, but we got to get to the linebacker.
Sometimes Humble up at that fullback spot, maybe scooting him up even a half step forward closer, just to help him get to the hole faster. 2 wide receivers far side. Humble the only guy in the backfield. They'll go ahead and hand it to him, and he's hit. Trying to break one tackle. He does. Across the 30. He's got the first down. Up to the 32-yard line. A good gain there for Chandler Humble. And it'll be a gain of about 7 on the play. And we'll move the chains up across the 30 to the 32.
That was all Humble right there. Hit at the line of scrimmage, still made good yardage.
At the 32-yard line. 2 wide receivers far side, 1 to the nearest side. Norris, turn, handoff. Humble trying to bounce outside. Got to try to make one guy miss. He can, but he's still got a good gain of about 3 yards of the play. It'll be up to the 35, just shy of the 35-yard line. And so we'll give him a gain of 3, and that's not bad there. 6:46 to play first half. Trojans trailing 22-0 here at Burlington. Just a straight quarterback keeper. Up the middle, Norris has got a little bit of running room. He's across the 40, up near the 45-yard line. That's where he'll go down at the 45. A gain of 10 on 2nd down and 7 for Ty Norris. I like that play. Quick hitter.
Yep, and that's exactly what you were talking about earlier, moving the fullback up. It's got to be faster.
Norris, a good quarterback keeper there, and it'll move the chains again. At the 45, 2 wide receivers near side, 1 to the far side. Norris, turn, Humble, near side, takes on 1 hit, rumbling forward up near the 50-yard line. That was nice to watch. A 4-yard gain. He anticipated that contact and took it to the dude. Clock continued ticking now, under 6 minutes to play in the first half. Quick moving one. Bulldogs have scored on each of their first 3 possessions of this ball game. Trojans just trying to answer here on a 3rd and long 5. 2 to the near side, 2 to the far side. Lone man in the backfield is Humble with Norris. He'll send Curran in motion into the backfield. They'll hand it off to the big fella again, and he'll get it across. That was a good quick hitter there across the 50 inside Wildcat territory. And it will be a gain of about 3 yards as well. 3 yards on that one. And it'll bring up a 3rd down and 2. This will be the 7th play of this drive. 6 of them runs by Chandler Humble. Not this time. 3 wide receivers near his side, 2 to the far side. Norris by himself. Lost it. Bottled up. Now he might have a first down. Takes a big step. He gets past one defender. Across another one. What a play by Norris. He's in the open field at the 30. At the 25, he's got a blocker out in front of him at the 15. The 10. Down the sideline and wrapped up out of bounds. He took that chicken salad. And chicken, you know what, into chicken salad and got it all the way down to the 5-yard line. Penalty flag sits at the 20. That may be against the Trojans, but it will still be a first down, as that was at the 48, all the way down to the 5.
I believe it's starting to get just a little bit chippy on the D-backs right now. I think that might be called on Curran.
43-yard run by Norris. I don't know.
Nope.
Against the Trojans. It'll still be a first down because of where the flag's at. It'll be from the end of the play, I believe, or from the flag. I don't know my rules well enough.
I think it's a spot foul.
Yeah, we didn't see what it was. If I'm Coach Philpott, I would like to know. But they're going to put 10 yards back from where the flag sits. Okay. It's a first down. And so 43 by Norris is negated. And the Wildcats going to take a timeout here. They're trying to find an answer for the Trojans. 4:46 to play in this opening half. Trojans trail by 22, but trying to score.
It's time for our anniversary sale. D-Rail Commodity Flooring and Furniture is celebrating over 50 years in business. From humble beginnings 50 years ago, HMS Enterprises has grown to 16 stores. With our buying power, we can offer you the best in truckload savings with some carpet styles starting at $7.20 a square yard. Save big in September with these amazing anniversary sale special prices on carpet, LVT, remnants, furniture, and more. Register to win a $500 shopping spree in-store.
This is Trojan football on Girard Sports Live.
Wildcats down there trying to make some adjustments for the Trojan offense. It's marching a little bit. That play by Ty Norris, although some of it brought back because of the penalty. He still gets credit for the 43 yards, I'm sure. It's an after the play, dead ball foul, so you get the run, and then the penalty yards come back, right?
Well, they're calling it a block in the back, so it was a during.
No, that was a personal foul is what he said, I thought. No, they said it was blocking the back.
Block in the back.
Oh. Well, okay. Well, I don't know how to score that then, but I'm not going to worry about it. It still was pretty nifty. He fumbled the ball. He should have been tackled in the backfield for a loss. He gets out of there. He's got some scoots, and he showed them on that play. So the Trojans do move the chains. 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. Got to finish a drive if you're the Trojans. Tailback's Curran. Fullback is Humble. Norris. Turn. Handoff. Curran cuts against the grain. Across the 20. Up near the 15-yard line. A nice run on 1st down and 10 for Creed Curran. Up to the 16. It's a gain of 14 on the play for Creed.
That's the first time Burlington's come out in a 4-man front. Early they've been on the 3-4. Now they went to the 4-3 defense.
Well, they say just do it again. Up to the 16-yard line. 4:33 to play in the first half. Trojans trying to score. Now inside the red zone. Same formation. Norris, turn, handoff again. Creed trying to bounce outside. Bounce again. Got to break a tackle. Can't do it. It'll be a gain of 1 on the play.
Got to turn it upfield. He's got to turn it up just about 3 steps quicker.
And it'll bring up a 2nd down and 9 here for the Trojans. You mentioned in the break, you can't really put yourself in a hole this deep and then take, it started at 8:03. And we're at 4 minutes, 3:59, 4 minutes off the clock to score. You maybe need to get a little quicker, but for the Trojans, just to get one in the end zone would be the most important thing. Humble, run off the left side, breaks one tackle up across the 10, maybe down to the 9-yard line. They're going to say he was down at the 10. And so it's a gain of about 5 on the play. Maybe 6. And it will bring up a 3rd down and 3. Well, this is probably 2-down territory for the Trojans, so they've got a couple cracks at it to pick up these 3 yards. Just can't go backwards. Near side wide receivers, Troike. Far side, Shirtano. Curran and Humble in the backfield. Norris will settle under center. Tied in far side is Harrison, and a timeout's going to be called by Coach Philpott.
Timeout. Charge to the Trojans.
Timeout on the field. We'll take it. Trojans trail by 22, trying to get on the board. We'll see if they can do it when we return on your home for Trojan Athletics, Girard Sports Live.
Farm Bureau is proud to support Girard High School student athletes. At Farm Bureau Financial Services, their #1 goal is to make insurance simple. Agents Judd Sasho, Lori Johnson, and Lisa Sasho take pride in educating their clients and members so they are able to make the best decisions. There's a lot of information out there, and at Farm Bureau, they can explain it in a way that relates to you so you can apply it to your life, family, farm, and future. To learn more, contact Judd, Lori, or Lisa at 620-724-4213. Go Trojans!
$22-0, that's the score you see on your screen. Not ideal. But the Trojans right now have it 3rd down and 3 at the 10-yard line, trying to get this one into the end zone and just get off the schneid a little bit. Trojans, the good thing about it from a week ago, they saw some adversity. I mean, they fumbled the ball, got scored on with 1:12 to play in the ball game. Got the ball to the 50-yard line, 49, and were able to score with about 34 seconds left to win the game. So they've seen some adversity here in first 3 weeks of the game, first 3 weeks of the season, rather.
On the Wildcat 10.
We'll go 1 wide receiver, 2 tight ends. Rare 2 tight end set. They'll flip a guy. It was actually a wing. Turn, handoff, Curran, the deep back. He's got a little running room across the 10. He's got the 1st down, up to the 5, backwards going, and up to about the 3-yard line. It's going to be 1st and goal for the Trojans. It's going to be a gain of 7 on the run by Creed, and the Trojans are knocking on the door.
Nice run there by Curran. Saw the outside was open, made a run for the corner.
So 1st and goal at the 3-yard line. Under 3 minutes to play in this ball game. I've been on the air on a Friday night every year for 17 years. Don't call me on a Friday night, people. 2 tight ends. Norris, turn, handoff. What a good cut in the backfield by Humble. Going forward into the end zone. Is he in? Give it to the young man.
No.
It was Curran, actually. I thought it was Humble, but it was a really nice cut back there to try to pick his way forward. And, boy, we're a long ways away. I won't argue on that one, but it was at the 3-yard line. It was at about the 3-yard line, so we're going to say a gain of about 2 on the play. This is the 12th play of the drive, and another timeout going to be taken by the Wildcats. You have the GN Bank halftime show coming your way in just a little bit. The Trojans will try to recap this first half. Been a fast one, as it will be in a running attack like this. And the Trojans will try to figure out what they can do in this second half. But right now, they are knocking on the door at the 1-yard line, looking at a 2nd and goal.
2nd and goal, what works for us?
Turn around, hand it to number 44.
Give it to Humble and let him run. Let him do some eating like he does.
I may not be a smart man, but
being a fullback myself, I'm chomping at the bit, ready to go. It's 2nd and 1. Don't worry about it. Let's get it.
Well, as an offensive lineman, I like that call as well because you just convince yourself that you are stronger than the guy across from you, and you want to put the game in your hands or on your legs, your arms, or whatever. Trojans will return to the friendly confines of Frank Jameson Field. next week to welcome in the Anderson County Bulldogs, but they are not thinking about that right now. Got to finish this drive. It is 2:05 to play. This thing started at 8:03. Nearly 6 minutes off the clock. It will be 6-minute drive by the time the Trojans punch it in. Wing near side is Shirtano. Tight end fire side Harrison. Wide receiver to the far side Troike. Norris just going to quarterback. Keep it up the middle. He's got the touchdown. Ty Norris in for the 1-yard plunge, and the Trojans cap off that 12-play drive on a 1-yard touchdown run by Ty Norris. And they do it with 2 minutes to play in the first half. It's a 6-minute and 3-second drive. And now we'll see what they do on the 2-point conversion.
Great call there by the coach. They're in the 4-3. There's no one over the center. He just tucked in right behind Boatman and dove right in. Big 2-point conversion. All the points now are going to be big to try to get yourself back into this one. Straight drop. Norris got a big hole. It closed quickly. Still going forward. Still fighting for it. He's going to be short. And that's where it will stay. It will stay at 22-6. But the Trojans do answer back. They need another stop, though. Can't let them score here under 2 minutes. We'll see if they can when we return. You're watching here on Girard Sports Live.
G&W Foods is the one-stop shop for everything you need to feed the family. With a great selection of quality, fresh, and delicious foods, you're sure to find something to satisfy every appetite. With friendly and knowledgeable staff, the folks at G&W Foods can help you find what you need so you can get in, get out, and on your way with your day. Plus, don't forget G&W Foods for the great daily lunch specials. Open 7 days a week. Check out their weekly Facebook-only specials. The G&W Foods family super wishes the Girard Trojans the best of luck.
This is Trojan football on Girard Sports Live.
Well, the Trojans go 12 plays. That started at their own 18-yard line, 82 yards, and cap it off at a 1-yard touchdown run by Ty Norris. That's something that could get your momentum going back to you. 2-point conversion was no good. Score right now 22-6. Now the Trojans will send it down the other direction. You can't have a letdown now. They're going to get back with less than 2 minutes to play. Here's Boatman from the 40, right-footed kicker. He'll put that big old leg into it, drive the defender, the receiving team back to the 10. Middle return, and breaking a couple of tackles, and finally brought down across the 30 up to the 31-yard line. On the return there by Cale Johnson.
Late flag flies in.
I've seen a couple of those. So we will see. I think it's going to be against the Wildcats. Unsportsmanlike conduct against the Wildcats. And, these two teams have seen each other here quite a bit recently. This is not a matchup necessarily the Trojans play a lot of. I remember back in the day when you were in school, Burlington wasn't too bad, right? They were a pretty good team, but we never really played them much. And Trojans in basketball used to come up here and play in this Burlington tournament back a long time ago as well. But here of late, because of the district assignments of the way they've been, the Trojans have seen this team often. And so it seems to me a little bit of that is spilling over here perhaps. And both teams guilty of some mental errors in this first half. That's back to the 11 with 1:53 to play. And that's where Burlington will start this one. Excuse me, back to the 15-yard line is where it's going to be. Got to make a stop here. End around coming this way. Current, stretch it out. Gets a hold of Cale Johnson and brings him down for minimal gain. Boy, Creed kind of bit on the inside there, and he's got outside contained responsibilities from that corner spot, and he limits him to just a gain of 2, but that was almost a big one. On the run by Johnson. Clock continues to tick now, 1:25 to play. In the first half and counting. Hand up the middle, not much there. Good hard hit there by the Trojans as well. It's going to be across the 20. Ends up picking up a few yards, maybe another 3 yards, maybe 4 on that one. Joseph Dixon making another play. We've said his name quite a few times here in this first half. Third down and 4. Trojans 45 seconds to play. Well, you get a stop. I don't know what the timeout situation is. I think the Trojans maybe have 1 left. You call a timeout here, make them punt it, and give yourself a shot. End around, Johnson bubbling outside. Wes Hay there on the contact, making stop, and then help coming for the Trojans. And Derby McReynolds come to help him clean it up, and the Trojans, I believe, do call that timeout. 27 seconds to play. You have to make them punt it because there are a lot of things good that can happen. You can bring a block right here. And so that's a negative play. They're one of the few they've had. What a nice play by Wes Yehe.
It was a great play. He came up on a stunt right there, made a nice tackle. He stood him up, and Derby McReynolds there to clean it up. Hey, like you said, anything can happen on a snap. I was on that field earlier today. It is spongy. I don't know how much rain they got here today, or maybe the sprinklers were left on, but it's wet out on the field. So being a long snapper, you never know.
We will see. Get you some halftime scores from around. A lot of these games probably won't be at halftime. This one's moving along fairly quickly. We'll get you those scoring update. Brought to you by the Market 120 when we go to the GN Bank halftime show. See what the punting situation is here. Evan Troike's a guy who could take it to the house as well. Anytime. He stands just beyond the 50. Punter at about the 6-yard line. Ooh. Took his time. Troike's going to get a return here, driven back to the 43-yard line. Far side return. The block is set up. It's got some room. Troike down the sideline. Little stutter step. Penalty flag comes in behind it. So this is all going to be coming back most likely with 9.9 seconds on the clock. It's going to be at about the 45-yard line is where the penalty flag lies.
Crackback block, blindside block. They changed the rules a couple years ago. And
boo.
Back when me and you played BJ, that'd have been a great block, and it made the highlight film.
Yep.
Now they say it's illegal.
So that'll be, depending on where they put the football here. We'll see what the Trojans have in store for them with under 10 seconds to play in this first half. So penalty against the Trojans. The flag sits at the 45, so it'll probably be from there marked off. Goodness gracious.
Yep.
That's back beyond where right at where he fielded it, basically. Essentially about a 3-yard return, I would say. Trojans will be at their own. It's a holding is what the penalty call was, so I'm not sure whoever did make the big hit, maybe they got away with it.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah. Well, this is one you maybe take a knee on and get to the house and try to sort things out, and it looks like that's what the Trojans are going to do here. Nope, I thought they were going to run in victory. They don't. 45-yard line. Turn, handoff, Humble, trying to break out, and he'll fall across the 50-yard line. The clock will continue to run, and that will be the end of the first half. Trojans find themselves in a hole. We'll see if they can bounce back in the second half. We'll talk about it when we return on the GN Bank halftime show. GN Bank, formerly Girard National Bank, different name, but the same great service and the highest quality financial services you can expect in a friendly and personal way. Personal, business, or agricultural needs. Turn to GN Bank. Learn more at gn-bank.com. We'll talk about it next on the GN Bank halftime show on Girard Sports Live.
Girard National Bank is now GN Bank. Family-owned and operated, GN Bank has been providing customers with the highest quality of financial services in a friendly and personal way for over 100 years. Whether you have personal, business, or agricultural needs, GN Bank is big enough to handle all of your banking needs, yet small enough to provide you with that personal touch you've grown to expect from a community bank. GN Bank, a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. Learn more at gn-bank.com.
Crawcan Telephone Cooperative has been serving Girard in southeast Kansas for 65 years. In 1952, we helped our members connect with each other using telephone lines. Today, we connect our members with the entire world using fiber optics. While the technology has changed, our commitment to deliver it to our members has not. Check us out on the web at ckt.net.
Farm Bureau is proud to support Girard High School student-athletes. At Farm Bureau Financial Services, their number one goal is to make insurance simple. Agents Judd Sasho, Lori Johnson, and Lisa Sasho take pride in educating their clients and members so they are able to make the best decisions. There's a lot of information out there, and at Farm Bureau, they can explain it in a way that relates to you so you can apply it to your life, family, farm, and future. To learn more, contact Judd, Lori, or Lisa at 620-724-4213. Go Trojans!
The Producers Co-op Farm Store is committed to making your life easier by supplying you with the things you need for your farm and home. As always, the Producers Co-op Farm Store has a great selection of farm and ranch supplies, including pet supplies, ranch and corral building supplies and equipment, automatic waterers and feed bunks, tack, dog food, pet and animal health supplies, workwear, boots, and much, much more. Come in and check out the great deals on lots of new merchandise as well. Proudly serving Girard and the surrounding area, and proud to support the Girard Trojans.
This is Trojan Football on Girard Sports Live.
Back out here on the GN Bank halftime show, BJ Harris, Dale Sherman, the Burlington Band, getting ready to get things fired up here at the halftime break. Trojans trail here at the break 22-6 against Burlington. And here's how we got things started as we take a look at your Eye on the Game, brought to you by Kennard Eye Care. Thanks to the support from their community, Kennard Eye Care has doubled their space, extended their hours. Got locations in both Pittsburgh and Girard. Kennard Eye Care, the clear choice. Kennard Eye Care, 620-235-1737. Trojans, they'll get the ball coming out at halftime because Burlington had the ball to get things started here tonight, and they made quick work of it. Started their own 37-yard line, and they cap off that 63-yard drive pretty quickly. In just over a minute on 3 plays, a 60-yard touchdown run by Cale Johnson on the third play from scrimmage. 2-point conversion's good. Trojans trail 8-0. Trojans get the ball back. Great drive. They put it together. It started on their own 31-yard line, and they go 11 plays, but turned over on downs with 6:05 to play in the first quarter. They had the ball for 4 minutes and 2 seconds, but couldn't get it in the end zone. Got it inside the 20. Ended up turning that over at the 21-yard line. Burlington would take it with 6:05 to play in the first quarter, and they would put together a pretty nice drive of 9 plays, cap it off on a 20-yard touchdown pitch and catch. It was from quarterback Nordstedt. I'm not sure who made the catch. And with 3:06 to play in the first quarter, the Trojans suddenly found themselves down by 14-0. The 2-point conversion was no good. Trojans started their own 27-yard line with 2:59 to play in the first quarter. They would go 5 plays, 6 plays, and an interception on the first play of the second quarter. Would give the ball back to the Wildcats, and they would put together another nice drive. They started their own 35 with 11:50 to play in the first half. They would go 8 plays and take over 3 minutes off the clock, cap it off an 11-yard touchdown run by Nordstedt. 2-point conversion was good by Nordstedt as well on the quarterback keeper. And with 8:14 to play in the first half, the Trojans were down 22-0. But the Trojans did respond, which I credit them for that, as they started at their own 18-yard line on the next drive. The ball took a weird bounce over the head of Creed Curry. He had to go get it, and he was lucky to get it back to the 18. And the Trojans at that point, they put on an impressive drive. It went 13 plays, 82 yards, and was capped off at a 1-yard touchdown run by Ty Norris. It took 6 minutes and 3 seconds off the clock. The 2-point conversion was no good, made it 22-6. Trojans kick it away to Burlington. And Burlington goes 3 and out, has to punt it for the first time tonight. They punted away. Trojans run 1 play in the half, and that's the way things would end in the half on a 9-yard run by Chandler Humboldt. Chandler had a big first half, Dale, and the Trojans maybe, just maybe, found a couple. Well, you win some, you lose some. Thanks for sticking around with you. BJ Harris back with you here on Girard Sports Live. Dale Sharman as well. And maybe abbreviated halftime here as the Trojans come out of the locker room. Not exactly sure what happened there, but, when you're dealing with this much technology, Dale, and a couple of farm boys from rural Crawford County, we were probably drinking the same water, you and I, up there. Was it Marmonton River water or whatever up there? I don't know what you guys drink.
Yeah, I think that was rural
You were
water
up on the
district.
hill. You probably had fancy water up on the hill. We were down at the bottom of the hill.
We pumped it from a pond, ran it through 2 sand filters, and drank it.
There you go. We are on the GN Bank halftime show as we roll right on through this. Take a look at your halftime stats. Halftime stats are brought to you by Evans Motors. Let Eddie or Nate get the number that is right for your budget when you're buying your next car, truck, van, or SUV. Get the people on the road. Getting people on the road since 1935. Evans Motors has been a trusted choice for generations. Stop by the lot just south of Pittsburgh or shop their online showroom at evansmotors.net. And for the Wildcats, they're running all over just the guys I have stats on, which is most of them. They're close to 200 yards rushing in the first half, as they had, just shy of 200 yards. The big guy was Nordstedt with 10 carries, 96 yards, right at around his average for this season. He also was 2 for 2 passing with 50 yards and a touchdown in the ball game. Cale Johnson, who had the 60-yard touchdown, he ends up netting 61 yards on 6 carries, so he went backwards a few times after having the big 60-yard run on the third play from scrimmage. For the Trojans, leading the way right now is Ty Norris. I gave him credit for his 43-yard run. I would say officially probably not that, but 8 carries, 69 yards. Chandler Hummel getting a big bulk of the carries, 12 carries, 59 yards. Ty also 1 of 3 with an interception and a 15-yard completion, 15 yards passing in that first half, and then 28 yards on 8 carries for Creed Curran, your halftime stats. Halftime scoreboard update, and I'll let you take it over.
At halftime, Anderson County up 28-6 over Iola. In the fourth quarter, Centralia 20-0 over Colgan. St. Paul 42, Crest 0. Galena up big at halftime over Frontenac 24-0. And Parsons is up 21-0 over Baxter Springs.
Parsons going to move to 4-0 on the season likely tonight. That halftime scoring update brought to you by the Market 120. Trojans could look better, but you'll be looking your best when you walk out of the Market 120, where no one has ever had a bad hair day. A full-service salon. To schedule your appointment, call 316-650-6680, the Market 120. Second half keys of the game. Dale, keys of the game brought to you by our friends at the Bender on 7. I apologize to the Bender. They probably went scrambling, wondering something happened to their TV as they're broadcasting our games. The key to satisfying your appetite is to stop at the Bender on 7. The Bender has quickly become Girard's favorite with daily specials. Tonight, get to the Bender. Maybe still time here at 8:10 in the evening. Get to the Bender, watch the game. Certainly time for that. Check out their outdoor patio. Man, it's going to be great for that tonight on a beautiful fall night. The first day of fall right now today as well, I believe, on the 21st. Enjoy their Friday night steak tip special. That's tonight. Bender on 7. Dine in or call for a pickup. 620-724-4860. How much time's left on that clock around the corner and down a mile away? We'll take one quick break. We'll come back and get you ready for second half action. Here from Burlington, the Trojans trying to dig themselves out of a hole here on the road in the first game of district play. We'll see if they can do it when we return. You're watching Trojan football, and you're home for Trojan Athletics, Girard Sports Live.
Hydrix, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Samsung savings. Leave notes, sync calendars, and display your photos on the new Samsung Family Hub refrigerator. Plus, get free same-day delivery. Why shop for appliances where the motto is do-it-yourself when you can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day?
The only thing better than our price is our service. Hydrix, Fort Scott, and Girard.
Well, here we go. Girard Trojans trailing it 22-6, but whole nother second half to go. There's some things that could go your way if you're the Trojans. And if they do, then you can be right back in this ball game. So the Trojans are going to get the football. This is where it starts, though, Dale. If they can get a good drive, get one in the end zone, make this a one-possession game, they could take a big stride to getting back in this competition. Evan Troike, Creed Curran back to receive. They both stand about the 10-yard line. Now they'll split as the kick goes. Going to be shallow. I think that's Caden Harrison. Middle return there for Caden. He's got some running room. He's breaking off tackles. A big fella. That's not Caden. That might be Chandler Humble. I thought it was Harrison, but Chandler, after he started running, I was like, nope, that's Chandler. I did not see any of those numbers. Again, no more gold numbers. But a good return all the way up to the 46-yard line. And that's where the Trojans will have great field position to get this thing started. Here with 11:52 to go in the third quarter as we're just underway in this quarter. At the 46. Got a heavy dose of Chandler Humble late in that first half. See if they go back to him here. They will. Turn, handoff. Good cut outside. Chandler get ahead of steam going forward. And he'll fall forward up just shy of the 50-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4 on the play. And a nice pickup on first down.
Nice cut by Chandler Humble, keeping his head up, seeing it was open to the outside and getting upfield.
11:33 and counting. Opening drive of the second half. Trojans trying to climb their back into this one. They gave up 22 unanswered to begin this ball game, and right now, opening drive of the second half. Troike split out to the far side. Harrison the tight end to the near side. Turn, nope, option outside. Current, backwards they go. Good pursuit there for the Wildcats. That's going to be a loss of 5 on the play. All the way back beyond the line of scrimmage.
Burlington's gone back to the 4-4. So they're putting 8 men right on top of the box right there. Should open it up for some.
Yeah, Trojans need to stretch the field a little bit here. They took one shot down the field, was intercepted. They have not really done that since. Wildcats Nordstedt's going to have maybe an equipment issue. He'll come out, and this would be the time to do it. Probably their best athlete off the field because of a chin strap and chance to take advantage of it perhaps. Troike's going to be single man on the far side. Norris play action, looking that way. They'll let it fly. Troike's past the defender, and he just can't quite catch up with it. And that was the play. We were calling it all along, and going to be just out of his reach. We're going to 4th down and 11 in a punting situation here, and what was a promising start to this drive. It ends up going to be a punt. That one's just out of the reach. And you know what that is? That's a soggy grass field versus a turf field at Frank Jameson Field a week ago, because I think if they're on that turf, Evans able to catch up with that pass. So Norris is going to have to make that adjustment in the passing game. Caden Lallman a punt for the Trojans. He'll get right foot, not a great one, wobbly. Going to bounce at the 40, take a nice Trojan roll, though, all the way down. He didn't get very good at that one, but it's going to go all the way down to the 26-yard line, and that's where the Wildcats will have it with 10:22 to play. In this third quarter, the Trojans, as much as they needed to get a drive going right there, they can ill afford to give up another touchdown here on this drive for the Wildcats. They got a 3-and-out the last time. It was the first time in this ball game they did. Maybe they've got an answer. Trojans with 9 guys inside the box and brought down. Nice play there for the Trojans up front. Caden Lallman coming in from that linebacker spot, and Chandler Humble. And that's what happens when you can keep those guys free. They can get in there and make some plays. Cole Davis into the ball game as well at that linebacker spot for the Trojans. Give it a little more meat maybe at that linebacker spot. Actually, he's on the line of scrimmage. He's a tackle in there. And they're going to try to stretch it outside. Bottled up and brought down. Nope, that's Wes Jahay, rather, on the far side. The 3 was on the number of the guy running it, and that's a loss of 1. They had a 1-yard run on the first one, and now a loss of 1, maybe 2. That's a big play there by Jahay.
Trojans are stacking man coverage with Troike out there, so they're depending on Troike, and we're putting 10 in the box to stop that run.
Here's a 3rd and 11. Straight drop, pressure comes. Flush out Norstedt. Nearly ripped down. He'll fling one out. He's got a guy. Holy mackerel. He's going to have the first down and more across the 40. There's some gunslinger stuff there a little. Nice play by the quarterback to get out of the grasp. The Trojans had him dead to rights. Instead, he flings it forward for a gain of about 17 yards on a Hess gets the catch. You got to finish that play.
That's right. Got to wrap up.
Trojans had him down and channeled his inner Brett Favre and got out of that one, or Big Ben, whatever you want to say, and Norstedt will be the quarterback here. Snap to him. Direct snap. That's not him up the front, and he is driven backwards. Good hard tackle there by the Trojan linebackers. Chandler Humble coming up there along with Wes Jay again, and it's a gain of 1 on the play. And Trojans have been much more consistent, at least, Dale, here of the last 2 possessions.
I think bringing in Cole Davis in on the interior line is making them double team him.
Well, gives him a little bit more speed maybe at that line spot. So if things start to stretch, maybe he can track things down along the line of scrimmage. So between him and Carter Doherty, they're on this near side. They'll walk up. Jay Hay trying to stretch it outside. Trojans got to bend it back inside. No pursuit. They finally do track him down. Norstedt can be brought down. And big gain. Derby McReynolds going to come in there, rather Troike. And Wes Jay Hay fought off his block. It's still going to be a gain of about 7 yards on the play to bring up a 3rd down and 4. On that play, I never know who gets the ball. I got to start paying attention to that. Who ran that ball? Nobody knows.
Yeah.
At least their numbers are a different shade than the jersey. Here's a 3rd down and 4, big one. Quarterback keeper Norstedt up the middle. He's going to have the first down. They just get man on man and push it forward. And that's a little bit of a ego check there for you. Line up and come right at you. He gets it inside Trojan territory up to the 48-yard line. And so Norstedt on a 3rd and 4 picks up about 7. And it will move the chains once again, this time inside Trojan territory. Clock ticking here, 8:04 to play. They will flat end the game. 2 guys in the backfield, wings and other stuff out there. No idea how to call this game. Straight roll to the right side. Norstedt looking downfield, lets it fly, and he is going to be, oh boy, they're going to bail him out. That was incidental contact because they got their feet tangled up there. There was no contact above the shoes. They get their feet tangled up, and they're going to bail out the Wildcats on this one. It was a 1st down pass trying to catch the Trojans off guard a little bit from the 48. And instead, they're going to get a bunch of free yards here and move it down deep inside Trojan territory.
No question about it. Troike was running stride for stride with him in position. They get their feet tangled up.
That's a long ways away from us. Maybe there was something we couldn't see, but it looked for me like he was trying to maybe step in front a little bit and got his feet tangled up with him, and they do wave it off. Hey, we may know what we're talking about, Dale.
First time for everything, right?
Yeah, rope clock's correct twice a day at least.
The result, an incomplete pass.
And so they will call it incomplete. Big break there for the Trojans. It's the first incomplete pass Nordstedt's had today. 2nd down and 10. He's only had 4 passes. 5 passes. Direct snap this time up the middle. Not much happening there. Maybe push forward for a gain of about
Number 11, take a Hess
2. That was Hess with the carry. They'll give him 2 yards on it. That incomplete pass now
Cole Davis
brings up a 3rd and 9, and Cole Davis may be working his way into a starting position, not at the position he's played all season long when he's gotten in there. There's a tackle on the near side. 3rd down, 11. Trojans need a stop. 3rd down and 9. He'll get back there. Lallman gets a hold of the quarterback. Can't bring him down. He cuts back against the grain. He'll still not make it. Caden gets some credit for making the initial contact and slowing him down a little bit. Got him on the shirt tails and went a little Superman on him. But it's going to be a gain of only about 2 on the play to bring up a 4th down and a punting situation here for the Trojans. A punting situation, rather, for the Wildcats. Trojans perhaps forcing a punt. We'll see. They may not go. They may not punt it. I think for them, with the lead right now, running some time off the clock, now under 6:46. This thing started with 10:22. Back at their own 25, 26. And a timeout going to be taken by the Wildcats. Timeout by the Wildcats. We will take it along with them. Trojans trying to get a stop, trying to get the ball back so they can go to work and get themselves back in this ball game.
If you're in the market to buy or sell a house, land, or commercial space, look no further than Lehman Realty. Locally owned and operated, Jason Lehman and his staff are ready to meet the needs of every client. When it comes to your listing, you can trust that Lehman Realty will take the time to get to know you and your property. Lehman Realty is a proud supporter of Girard Trojan Athletics. Learn more at www.lehmanrealty.net or call Jason at 620-724-8020.
This is Trojan Football on Girard Sports Live.
Fourth down and about 6 here for the Burlington Wildcats. Inside Trojan territory, inside the 45-yard line to the 44. It's 6:40 to play on the clock. Nearly 4 minutes into this drive. This would be the 9th play of this drive. This actually would be the 10th play of this drive coming up to see what they decide to do. Wildcats ran up like they were going to run a play and then called a timeout. It's not close enough to try a hard count to get them to jump off sides, although you might do it and then go for it. So that's something you got to be thinking of. And if you got a guy like Cole Davis hand on the ground up front, if you've done your homework, you'd know that. Maybe try to take advantage of it. Nordstedt, there you get it. Boy, I am 2 for 2.
You're on fire.
Well, you know, you do this long enough, you're bound to be right occasionally, but gosh darn it, how did you had that entire time out to have that conversation as a coaching staff? You've got to make that conversation happen. I cannot possibly be the only person who was thinking that in this building. If I am, then that's an issue. So that's going to be a free 5, and now they definitely will go for it on 4th down. 6:40 remains on the clock, and this is going to be a tough one for the Trojans to stop here. 4th down and 1. Needs something to happen. Nordstedt, direct snap. He's got the first down. Runs into his pile and falls forward. He'll get only a couple yards, but he only needed 1. And it will be a first down for the Wildcats. Heck, they might have lined up and did that hard count again, and at which point I may have lost it. But it'll be across the 40, up down to near the 35-yard line to the 36, and that's where the Wildcats will reset it and go again here, 1st and 10. Trojans need to stop desperately. This thing's going to get away from them, and time's going to start to be an issue. Nordstedt standing there with Hess to his right. Snap, Nordstedt fakes the end around. Trojans trying to stretch it out, and he's going to be brought, and he's going to be stroked along the sideline. Coming up making a nice hit, Creed Curran. But it's going to be a gain of a couple on 1st down and 10. He'll give him 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd down and 7. Twelfth play of the drive. Started all the way back at their own 26-yard line. Almost 5 minutes into this one. Well, I got to drive to Salina after this, and so a quick ball game does not bother me, but a loss does. You know, that spinner back stuff, and Nordstedt going to turn around and go up. The Trojans play that one well. That's something that could get you your eyes going side to side, and then all of a sudden there's a guy on top of you, and you're looking to the edge. Trojans play that well, bottled up to maybe a gain of 1, and it'll bring up a 3rd down and 6 here for the Wildcats.
Once again, the Trojan defense, they have to stay home. No matter what, you have your assignment to do. You have to stay home and do your job.
Brings up a 3rd and 7 for the Wildcats.
Third down and 6. Up the middle. And it's going to be close to a first down. I think it's going to be short. It's going to be a gain of about 5.5. And it'll bring up a 4th down and 1 once again. That's just straight turn around and go for Nordstedt. And we'll give him 5 on the carry. Nordstedt on this drive has carried it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times.
It's a workhorse.
He had 10 carries in the first half altogether, and he's got 9 on this drive. 4th and 1. Turn up the middle. Ooh, he might be close. Trojans had him initially bottled up, but I think he got it on second effort. We'll see what the spot says Far sideline judge says yes. It's on his half of the field. I guess he gets the call, and they'll mark it right at the 25-yard line, and that'll move the chains. Needed one. He got 1.5. And it will move the chains. That clock is melting away. 4:15 to play when the clock starts. It is started. A wide receiver, you'd hate to call him that because he's almost a tight end to the near side. Hess looks to receive it. It'll be Nordstedt coming to the near side. Trojans try to stretch it. Cut back against the grain. They'll get him brought down. Caden Lawler was doing a nice job getting off that line, that guard's block, to keep it bottled up on the outside, and some help came in there. He lost his footing. It's a loss of 3 on the play. It'll bring up a second down and 13.
Nice job there by the defensive end. Took on the double team. They were pulling a guard, and that freed up Lolleman.
Not only is it the 11, he's carried it 11 times, he's carried it 7 straight times as Nordstedt. How can something be that predictable and still be successful?
Well, what is this lineup
here? Oh, my goodness. Boy, this is flat-out spread. No tight ends, one man in the backfield. Nordstedt just going to try to stretch him out. Trojans didn't bite on it. Up inside, I think that's Cole Davis making the initial contact for the Trojans. Inside there, Weidman, I believe, as well. For Girard, actually down inside there for the Trojans. Helping make a play. Why don't I have a roster? Yeah. Eli Tucker getting in there. Coach talked about putting him in on offense. He may have gotten a start and some playing time at the offensive side. Now he's in there on defense. Made a nice play there for the Trojans. A gain of just 2 on the play. On the 8th straight carry by Nordstedt. 3rd and 11. This one's Hess. He'll get the carry. Trojans bottled up again. They have gotten stiff inside there. Have the Trojans finally.
Taking Hess on the carry.
8 minutes in this drive. 8 minutes into this drive. Trojans are going to force him to no gain on the run by Hess. And we'll see what the Wildcats decide to do. They're going to run as much time off the clock as they can. They may do it and call another timeout. We'll see.
You want to say watch the ball?
On 4th and 10, that would be one way to do it, I guess. They're going to take a shot at the end zone here. Nordstedt going to roll down. Now look straight down the field. He lets it fly into double coverage, but he's got his man into the end zone. Touchdown. Unbelievable. They're going to say he was down. They're not going to give him the score. Now they're going to talk about it.
That pass complete from Nordstedt to number 1, Cale Johnson.
See if they give it to him. Officials are going to say it's first and goal at about the half-yard line. So it's not going to be a touchdown. I think that was, where was the ball at? About the 20. All right at the 30, wasn't it?
Yep.
It's a 30-yard pass. Goodness gracious. I said unbelievable a week ago for the much better reason. Turn, handoff, Nordstedt into the end zone, touchdown. Oh my! Trojans did everything they needed to do on that drive, except for the one play on 4th and 11. They convert on a 30-yard pass down to the 1-yard line. One play later, a 1-yard plunge by Nordstedt. And with 1:18 to play in this third quarter, they used up almost all of it. Clock going to be stopped. The PAT's no good, and that's how we will end that drive that took over 9 minutes off the clock. Trojans, they need some scores, and they need them quickly. When we return, you're watching it on your home for Trojan Athletics, Girard Sports Line.
McClellan Sanitation is a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans. McClellan Sanitation is also proud to have been serving Girard and the surrounding area for decades. McClellan Sanitation offers residential, commercial, and roll-off services. As a locally owned and operated company, owners Dave and Candy McClellan and their employees are dedicated to providing the highest quality customer service. To learn more, call McClellan Sanitation at 620-724-8486. McClellan Sanitation wishes the Girard Trojans the best of luck this season.
This is Trojan Football on Girard Sports Live.
Well, the Trojans give up another one. They had a stop on a 4th and long 10, and a 30-yard pass gets them down to the 1-yard line, and they punch it in. PAT was no good, and so there we sit right now, 28-6. Trojans are going to have to score early and often here down the stretch of this one. They'll kick it off here. Curry's going to get the return just shy of the 20-yard line. Gets a hand on the back of one blocker. He'll spin forward across the 30 up near the 35-yard line, and that's where the Trojans will go to work. Trojans punted the ball. They got the ball with 11:52. They opened this. There's only been one other possession in this first half, or second half rather. They went 3 plays. They ran a minute 30 off the clock, did the Trojans. They had it for a minute 30, and the Wildcats had it for 9:04. That's different.
Wow.
Trojans can't afford to take time now. 1:11 to play. At their own 35. Norris looks downfield, plenty of time. Throws it underneath. Caught by Troike. It's a gain of about 5 on the play. Maybe 6. And Trojans complete one there. Gain of about 6 to bring up a second down and 4. 46 seconds to play. This could be the final play of the third quarter. Straight drop again. Norris looking. Lets it fly. He's got his man out in the open field. He can't make the catch. It was up to the 45-yard line. Intended, I believe, for Creed Curran. And it will fall incomplete. Bring up a third down and 4. Got to make that catch. A little behind him, perhaps. And so now the Trojans got to just pick up the first down. They cannot afford to punt this ball away. Low snap. Norris turn off. Humble. He's got a head of steam. He's got the first down. Driving forward across midfield. Inside Wildcat territory down to the 48. And a nice gain there for Chandler of about 14 yards on the play.
Hurry up offense by the Trojans.
Hurry to the line of scrimmage. Turn around, do it again. Norris looking downfield, lets it fly. He wants Curran again, and Creed not where he wanted it to be. It's incomplete, and it will stop the clock here with 19 seconds to play in the third quarter. Burlington's got an ice football team and a interesting offense that will allow them to stay in ball games. And I think if that first quarter goes different, this is a much more competitive game perhaps, but they got on the Trojans early in this one, and right now they have total control. Up by 22. They led by 22 in the first quarter, and they have it again. 2 wide receivers far side, 2 near side. 1 man in the backfield, Humble. Straight drop, plenty of time for Norris. Lets it fly. Wants Troike down the sideline and falls incomplete. It'll bring up a third down and 10. You got to get big yardage. You got to score quickly, but no need to throw 20-yard passes to pick up 10 because you need to get first downs to the Trojans. They do them no good if they punt it away here. 13.9 seconds to play in this third quarter. Two wide receivers near side. Troike the wide out. Humble going to be the slot. 3 wide receivers the far side. We are completely spread open. On 3rd and 10, Norris going to try to draw. He's trying to pick his way forward, and Burlington swallows it up. Less than a gain, maybe a loss of 1 on the play. That's the end of the third quarter. Trojans are going to be looking at a 4th and about 11 when we return. Down by 22 here on the road in the beginning of district competition. Fourth quarter starts next on Girard Sports Live.
Girard Medical Center now offers both outpatient pulmonary and cardiac rehabilitation services. Our approach combines physical therapy, respiratory therapy, behavioral health, and nutrition to help you become more fit and active.
With cardiac and pulmonary rehab, we want to focus on lifestyle changes. We provide people with education to help prevent further events.
Each treatment is unique to the individual patient because at Girard Medical Center, we care for our communities one patient at a time. Call us at 620-724-5126. It's time for our anniversary sale. D-Rail Commodity Flooring and Furniture is celebrating over 50 years in business. From humble beginnings 50 years ago, HMS Enterprises has grown to 16 stores. With our buying power, we can offer you the best in truckload savings with some carpet styles starting at $7.20 a square yard. Save big in September with these amazing anniversary sale special prices on carpet, LVT, remnants, furniture, and more. Register to win a $500 shopping spree in-store.
28-6 your score. Trojans trail it here as we head into the fourth quarter. They're also looking at a fourth and a long 11 here on the opening play of this fourth quarter. Two wide receivers near side. Troyke's the wide out. Norris, straight drop. Now he's flushed. Now he will throw it. Man in his face, and he just throws it over the outstretched arms of Evan Troyke. He had settled down inside that zone and had the nice position. If he makes the catch, it's a first down. Instead, it's a turnover on downs for the Trojans. And it will bring up a 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. As much as this game has been Wildcats ball, it's the first time they're starting to drive inside. Nope, they're not even going to be inside Trojan territory here. They're going to be at their own 48-yard line. And they want another long drive. Trojans trying to stop it. Need something to happen. Need a turnover. Here's a good stop in the backfield. D. Weidman getting in there, I believe, and making initial contact from that D tackle spot.
Turnover on downs, brought up at first.
And it will, that's Carter Doherty, rather, coming in hard from that D end spot. And it's going to be maybe a gain of 1. They'll give him 1 yard on it.
1 yard gain by Nordstedt. Brings up second and 9.
And a carry by Nordstedt. Brings up 2nd down and 9. Nordstedt and Hess in the backfield. Blitz coming off that backside. Colton Kirby trying to chase him down. They'll make contact again. I think that's Carter again.
Yep.
On that far side, setting the edge. And it was Carter Doherty playing a nice game on that DN spot. It's a gain of 1 on the play to bring up a 3rd down and 8 for the Wildcats. 10:55 and counting in this fourth quarter. Trojans trying to just make something happen here. Trojans flip their D-line to play to the strength, and that's why Carter's on that play side so often. He making a nice play there. Nordstedt and Hess. Nordstedt, hand it, pass. Halfback pass, throws it up, and batted out of the air. Creed Curran batting it out of the air. It was intended for the Wildcats. Brennan Brown. And they'll bring up a 4th down and probably a punting situation here for the Wildcats. They want to make the Trojans march the length of the field. That's probably the right decision on their part. Just the 2nd punt of the ball game for Burlington. 28-6, fourth quarter. I have not changed the quarter all night. Dale, it's your job to remind me of that stuff.
I'm the camera guy, man.
Okay. And it's going to be a timeout by the Wildcats. Timeout, we'll take it. Trojans going to get the ball back, see what they can do with it when we return. You're watching here on Girard Sports Live.
Mathis Drugstore Incorporated has a proud Girard history of more than 50 years. Glenn and Karen Mathis took over the store in 1983 from Glenn's father and have been providing outstanding customer care and service since. At Mathis, they know their customers by name and value their support. Primary goal is to provide fast, accurate, friendly service. Mathis is a full-service pharmacy that accepts most insurance plans and supports competitive cash pricing. Mathis Drugstore, a proud supporter of Girard High School student-athletes.
This is Trojan Football on Girard Sports Live.
28-6. Trojans going to get the ball back here after this punt from the Wildcats, perhaps. 4th and 9 on the punt. Put a boot into it. Nice punt. Fair caught for Troike at the 16, and that's where the Trojans will start their drive. Here with 10:28 to play in this ball game. Well, for the Trojans, I know you wanted to go out and throw the ball, but on that last drive, they had 3 incomplete passes. They only completed 1. Stopped the clock a couple times. I guess that's good, but didn't get the first down, and you got to do that first.
Yeah, you got to get the first down, mix in a little bit of run. You're going to have to spread them out just a little bit, so they're just not keying off on the run, but
got to move the football. That's the bottom line. 3 wide receivers far side, 2 to the near side. Guess we're going to throw it. Here's Norris. Low snap. Nobody's going to run it. Keep it himself, and a little indecision there, and going to be lucky to maybe get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play.
Can't have linemen watching and go by.
Guys had a pretty good game in that tackle, Shane Wright. And it'll bring up a 2nd down and 10. Do head back to Frank Jameson Field. Take on Anderson County. The Bulldogs coming to Girard. Anderson County winless on the season coming into tonight. And here's Norris. Low snap. We've had one after another. He'll turn and throw it. Throw it up for Troike, and it is going to be incomplete. Lucky that it is that, not intercepted. As Troike gets tangled up with Nordstedt, who's Energizer Bunny, to still have the speed and legs to get over there and make that play. I'm guessing by looking at Nordstedt, he's probably a pretty good competitor on the wrestling mat, too. Just built like that kind of dude. Incomplete pass, bring up a 3rd down and 10 for the Trojans. 9:44 and counting. 9:44 when the clock winds here. In this 4th quarter, Norris straight drop, pressure comes, setting up a screen, get it to Humble, and it's well played by the Wildcats, and it's going to be no gain, maybe a loss of 1 on the play on the screen pass. The Trojans, I think you got to punt it away here. You can't turn it over on downs inside the 20. The Wildcats get the ball back. They're liable to sit on it.
I guarantee you're going to get a heavy dose of one guy.
Yeah. Caden Lallman stands at his own goal line. Good snap back to him. He'll get a chance to kick this one. It's going to be a tumbler, and it's going to bounce, and it's not going to flip the field a whole lot. It'll go up to about the 43-yard line, and that's where the Wildcats will start this drive inside Trojan territory. So that's where Burlington will start. 8:56 to play in this 4th quarter. Nordstedt, snap to him. Trying to pick his way forward. He'll get behind his shoulder pads and get across the 40. It's a gain of 4 on the play. I can tell you this. If somebody said, DJ, you're the head football coach of who at Northeast Vikings. You know, some of those programs that have struggled traditionally. I'm running this offense. Because it doesn't matter who you got. You can roll out 11 guys that all weigh 185 pounds, and you can run it. You may not run it well, and that's why Burlington's running it well, because they've got some bigger dudes than that up front. But you can turn around, run it. You run about 7 plays, and you do it well, and they're marching it down the field. 2nd down and 6. It's a gain of 4. Straight drop again. Nordstedt, Carter Doherty on top of him again when he'll barrel him backwards. We're going to have to give away a player of the game here, and Carter's doing his best to get himself at least into the conversation. Maybe the only conversation.
No question about it. The young man's done a great job at his defensive end position.
And we'll say loss of 1 on the play for Nordstedt. 7:42 to go in the ball game. Trojans trail 28-6 here in the 4th. Nordstedt setting up things up for him. Turn, hand off to Cale Johnson trying to catch the corner. And he's going to be bottled up. And for the Trojans, that's a really good defensive stop right there for him because that's Derby McReynolds, I believe, making that tackle. Gain of about 3 on the play because they hit you so many times between the tackles and all of a sudden, boom, they try to get around the edge with a guy with some speed. And Trojans able to bottle it up. Gain of 3 on the play to bring up a 4th and 7 rather. Trojans show blitz to Hess. Hess through there. He's got the first down on a 4th and about 4. He gets 7 across the 35 up to the 32-yard line.
Brandon, good for a Burlington Wildcat.
That wasn't even Hess. That was another guy that gotten in there. And the Trojans, that time they used Nordstedt as a decoy and direct snapped it to the other guy, and Trojans were keying on him. They were showing blitz, and they keyed in on Nordstedt and probably ran right by the guy with the ball. 1st and 10 from the 32. Snap Nordstedt, handoff in around for Johnson, following his blockers out in front, and he'll fall forward across the 25 or right at the 25-yard line, and it's a gain of 7 on the play. On the run by Johnson. 6:09 to play in the ball game. Trojans not their best outing. This time, turn, handoff Nordstedt to the fullback, and he's driven backwards, and that's the young man we've talked about on defense, Shane Wright. And nothing doing there. No gain on the play. Maybe a loss of 1 on the play for Wright. And it will bring up a 3rd and a long 4. With under 5.5 to play in the ball game. Third and 4. Nordstedt again up the middle. And he's going to be hit and driven backwards. Trojans bend him backwards. That's Chandler Humble with the contact. He's going to get close to a first down. I don't believe he's got enough for it. And it'll be a 4th down and 1. And that's a gain of 2 on the play. There's no doubt they know they can go for this, and they're pretty confident they can get it.
Right.
Nordstedt's going to come out of the ball game, though. Wrong. That's number 2, not number 3. Why would he come out of the ball game? He's probably trying to break some kind of carry record. 4th down and 2. Hard count coming. Nope. Nordstedt up the middle. They might have had him bottled up for a second. It might be short. That far side line judge did not step forward far enough for a first down. The near side line judge is just shy of the 22. And this will depend on the spot, and that's a pretty favorable Trojan spot, I believe. They're going to bring out the chains. I don't think he's got it.
I think he's going to be just a little bit short, but it's a long ways over there to see, though.
Well, and I'm sure, I don't know what it's like to be 40, Dale, but I'm sure the eyes start to go a little bit.
BJ, we've got along so well tonight. So well.
Let's see if they pull those chains tight. It's going to be short. Good work.
Yeah.
And the Trojans get a turnover on downs. First one of the night for them. 4:33 to play. Probably a little too late at this point, but it's a long season. That's one of the things this might sting a little bit too. Is you're in district competition and you just got pretty well dominated in the first game of district. But the Trojans are still a favorite to get out of this district. Still maybe even a chance to win it, depending on how things go with the Burlington Wildcats. But the Trojans going to have to lick their wounds a little bit and go back home. But you want to end strong here. The final 4.5, you need to play well. Turn, straight drop. Norris looking downfield. He wants to throw it up for Troike. Little underthrow. Troike makes the catch beyond coverage. Then he loses it. Then it's into the hands of the Wildcats. That pretty much sums it up.
Oh.
That right there, in a nutshell, is tonight's ball game. It was where'd they start that? At about the 23.
Yep.
22. All the way down to the 25. He caught that at about the 30. So
taken away by number 1, Girard Trojans.
It was a 48-yard pass. We're going to give it to him, and he should because he took on running on it. A 48-yard completion, and then a fumble after the catch. And the Wildcats are going to get it back at their own 25 with 4:23 to play. They hike it to the up man, and he's breaking tackles. And this is going to be a lack of effort on this play that's going to result in a long run. They direct snap it and finally coming to checking him down. Evan Troike, who just ran and caught a 48-yard route. The very next play has to come clear across the field. This was at the 25 and all the way down to the 8-yard line. $67-yard run for the up back. They direct snap it to Jared Lutz, and Lutz takes it 67 yards. And they're knocking on the door, and they're going to put an early nail or a late nail on this one probably. They'll fake it again, direct snap it to the up back, and Trojans weren't ready for it the first time. They were ready this time. And he's going to pull the pile forward for maybe 2 yards for Lutz. And there was that play right there is going to be replayed a few times because he ran through about 6 arm tackles. 3:36 to play for the ball game. This time Nordstedt will get it. He'll go forward. Trojans get that pretty well bottled up. Maybe a gain of 1 on the play. And the clock will continue to run here in this ball game. Big win last week against Columbus. Came back late in that ball game and got it. Tons of momentum going into practice this week. And then you come up here and it's a completely different type of ball game, completely different type of team. And again, I go back to that first quarter. Things kind of fell apart early. And the Trojans never really did recover, I don't believe, mentally. And then you've dug yourself too big of a hole. Nordstedt going to pass on 3rd and goal. He lets it fly, throws it underneath, and it's going to be incomplete. The decision-making on this crew is slow.
I think they were all kind of looking at each other.
Hey, you got it? You got it?
Nope.
Nobody. They call it incomplete. Intended for Cale Johnson, and it falls incomplete, bring up a 4th down. On the Wildcats, great opportunity to practice your field goal team. No, that's not going to happen.
No.
4th down and goal from the 8. End around Johnson. Cole Kirby was there, but couldn't make the tackle in the backfield, and into the end zone he goes. From 8 yards out, Johnson gets his second touchdown of the ball game. And the Trojans' woes continue. 34-6.
You got to be under control when you get to that spot. You've got to be able to break down and make that tackle. He was in the right position. He read the ball right.
Yep.
He's just got to break down and make that tackle.
They'll line up to go for 2 here. Nordstedt going to roll on the 2-point conversion. He'll flip it out there, and he wanted his man. He had his man. He just threw it behind him, intended for Hest. And that's the way it'll stand right now. 34-6, Trojans trail. We're back in 30 seconds. You're watching Trojan football, and you're home for Trojan Athletics, Girard Sports Live.
The best place for your pregame or postgame meal is Bender on 7. The Bender has quickly become Girard's favorite restaurant with incredible specials like the famous Taco Tuesdays, 3 tacos for $1. Wednesdays, try the adult grilled cheese. Thursdays is chili dog day. And of course, Friday, game day, is steak tips after 5. Grab a friend, grab a drink, and grab a seat at the Bender on 7, where they're streaming Girard Sports Live right now. Bender on 7. Order now. 620-724-4860.
This is Trojan football on Girard Sports Live.
Well, a tough outing for the Trojans. Trying to put a positive spin on this thing, trying to figure out how to get out of here and get back to work on Monday. Again, we're not even halfway through the season, about right at halfway, actually, after this ball game. Still plenty of football to be played. This district more than winnable, more than capable of getting into the playoffs. In fact, the Trojans, if they end up number 2 seed or even the number 1, depending on how things go, host a first-round game, or that game number 9, whatever the heck that is. And is that the playoffs? The playoffs? I mean,
if we make it there, it is.
It's all the playoffs right now. That's what the great thing about district is. Wildcats add to the lead at 34-6. .234 to play, and they're going to kick it out of bounds, like the first misstep they've had tonight. And so the Trojans will get it at the 35-yard line with 2:34 to play in the ball game. Back home next Friday night, Trojans welcome in the Anderson County Bulldogs. We'll have it for you here on Girard Sports Live. Our pregame coverage will start at 6:30. Kickoff at 7 o'clock in that ball game. Gorillas back home, family night tomorrow. And I tell you what, the Nebraska Kearney Lopers will run a offense not like this, but it's more traditional, more of a run it up the middle kind of offense, and the Gorillas will have to be ready for that. 2 backs, tied in near side. Turn, handoff, Curran, big hole, cross into midfield and across midfield, and a nice pickup there for Creed of 16 yards on the run. And that'll move the chains and get it inside Wildcat territory. The clock will stop momentarily while they do move the chains. 2:26 and counting now in this ball game. Long road trip as well, and that's never fun, those long road trips after a loss. Hand off to the big fella. He's in the running room. Humble. He just runs right past the one defender and into another down to the 25-yard line. A nice pickup there for Chandler Humble. A 24-yard run by Humble. Trojans have made short work of the field now. Started at their own 35, and they're already down to the Wildcat 25. Just some big old gaps in there, and I'm sure Wildcats have got some subs into the ball game at this point. Humble, no, handoff. This is Derby McReynolds breaking off one tackle, and a late flag going to come in. Trojans maybe get a free couple here on the end of this one. Was that Derby the first carry, or was that Creed? I gave it to Creed.
Yeah, I can't tell the numbers.
You can't. Why can't you?
Because they're
yellow
on
white.
Yeah.
Oh, we're being ornery at this point, just trying to survive. And it's going to be a penalty. I didn't see what the penalty was. I was too busy being ornery.
Personal foul against the defense.
Personal foul. And so the Trojans will tack on a couple more on that run by McReynolds. They'll get a run of about 4 yards on it. And it'll give the Trojans first and goal right about the 10-yard line. Trying to make this thing look a little better. Turn, handoff, Humble, rumbling forward, close to the goal line. He's going to be just shy. I say turn and hand it to the big fella again. He's earned it tonight. Chandler's going to be just shy, maybe a gain of 9 on the play to bring up a second down and goal from the 1. They saw the 2.
On the 3 for the Trojans.
I say the 2. And here, turn, handoff again, Humble, up the middle, into the end zone. Touchdown, Trojans. Chandler Humble. A 2-yard touchdown plunge, and the Trojans get on the board for just the second time tonight. But a nice drive that went from the 35-yard line all the way down into the end zone. And took just over a minute and 16 seconds off the clock. They'll line up to kick the point after with Boatman. High snap. He'll get it down. That was going to be kicked off the right side of the foot, and that's how things will stand. 34-12 your score. Trojans do score.
So your score, a minute 18 left to play, 34-12 Wildcats.
16-18 rather to play in this ball game. We'll see how things end when we return on Girard Sports Live.
For more than 20 years, Call Service has been serving Southeast Kansas. Right now, Call Service has a huge selection of hand-cooked tires, including hand-cooked Dynapro ATM. Farmers and ranchers trust Call's service as their trucks crisscross southeast Kansas, providing on-the-farm tire service daily. Plus, Call's is the first stop for lube and oil changes. Get back in the game with your new set of hand-cooked tires, never halfway. Available now at Call's Service. Check them out online at callservicellc.com or call 620-724-4121.
This is Trojan Football on Girard Sports Live.
34
and your insurance agent,
to
Jacobs Garcia.
12. Trojans trail it here on the road at Burlington.
Your fundraiser for God's Storehouse.
And the Trojans will be kicking it away back to Burlington again. You just don't want to let down here.
The FFA will be going to land judging, National Highway or National Honor Society doing highway cleanup. And on Wednesday morning at 7:15 in the morning.
And so Burlington will get the ball back, and they could probably just take a couple knees, and be done with it. We'll see what they decide to do. Trojans have all 3 timeouts remaining. Yeah, kick it away here. Bounced and then bobbled again, and then finally fielded. And Trojans are going to get down there, make a nice play on it to close that one. That's good right there. 11 guys around the ball, make a nice field tackle. Good job by the kickoff team. Galena's for real. I think Galena would be my favorite to come out of Southeast Kansas in 3A. They've Frontenac 47-0 tonight. Humboldt 73-0 over Jayhawk Lynn. Good night. Goodness gracious. Southeast gets the win over Northeast 27-6. In the fourth quarter, that's not win, those are fourth quarter scores rather. Pittsburgh 14, Fort Scott 8. That's a close one. Pittsburgh beat the defending 6A state champions a week ago, and now they're in a dogfight on homecoming against the Fort Scott Tigers. Wildcats to line things up. Again, that's a legal substitution. You can't break the huddle with 12 guys. And if you're not running a huddle, you still can't have 12 guys out there. They'll turn and take a knee. I don't want them to throw the flag. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I don't want them to throw the flag.
Didn't you say you had to go to Salina tonight?
I do. Kansas Shrine Bowl is making decisions tomorrow on where we want to have our game for the next 3 years after this year. And Wildcats could probably just take one more knee on it and get out of here. We do have the Evans Motors post-game show coming your way in just a little bit. We'll have your final stats and recap this ball game as much as we don't want to. And we will talk with the head football coach of the Girard Trojans, Neil Philpott, as well. And get out of town here as the Trojans are going to fall here to 2-2 on the season. Burlington's going to move to 3-1. And the Trojans will be 0-1 in district play. Burlington will be 1-0. And that's a wrap. Trojans going to fall here on the road, 34-12 against a really good Burlington team. We wondered if they could do it without their star last year, Connor Jeffers, and boy, do they re-rack it and just have another star. This time, Brandon Nordstedt, the senior, running all over the place. You look at these guys, 5'9", 155, and he ran for well over 100 yards tonight against the Trojans. We'll talk about this when we kick off the Evans Motors postgame show. Since 1935, Evans Motors has been helping get people on the road. Be sure to stop by the lot there just south of Pittsburgh, see Nate or Eddie, for the vehicle that's right for you and your family. Or check out their online showroom at evansmotors.net. The Evans Motors postgame show starts next on Girard Sports Live.
For over 80 years, Evans Motors has provided some of the best handshakes in the four-state area. No matter what type of handshake a situation calls for, Evans Motors will guide the hand into its proper position with the correct amount of pressure. Risky handshakes, classic handshakes, or something in between, Nate and Eddie have an arsenal of shakes, roughly umpteen. So the next time you want an optimal handshake, come to Evans Motors in Pittsburgh.
Paoni Dental is a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans. Chris Paoni DDS offers exceptional dentistry for all ages in a friendly atmosphere. In fact, Chris Paoni has been caring for smiles since 1993. No wonder so many Trojan fans look so good. Paoni Dental offers preventative care, Invisalign, whitening, bridges, crowns, and more. Stop by today and ask about the all-new CEREC dental system, offering same-day crowns, start to finish, right there in the office. To learn more, visit them at 106 South Ozark in Girard or go online to paonidental.com.
If you're in the market to buy or sell a house, land, or commercial space, look no further than Lehman Realty. Locally owned and operated, Jason Lehman and his staff are ready to meet the needs of every client. When it comes to your listing, you can trust that Lehman Realty will take the time to get to know you and your property. Lehman Realty is a proud supporter of Girard Trojan Athletics. Learn more at www.lehmanrealty.net or call Jason at 620-724-8020.
The best place for your pregame or postgame meal is Bender on 7. The Bender has quickly become Girard's favorite restaurant with incredible specials like the famous Taco Tuesdays, 3 tacos for $1. Wednesdays, try the adult grilled cheese. Thursdays is chili dog day. And of course, Friday, game day, is steak tips after 5. Grab a friend, grab a drink, and grab a seat at the Bender on 7, where they're streaming Girard Sports Live right now. Bender on 7. Order now. 620-724-4860.
Back out here to an empty Burlington High School football field. There's the Trojans. Little powwow down there to try to figure some stuff out. Trojans fall here. Final score in this one, 34-12, as we begin things here on this Evans Motors postgame show. The Girard Trojans going to fall to, as I mentioned, 2-2 on the season. They will move the Burlington Wildcats to 3-1. And Dale, as you look at this ball game, just from the beginnings, things kind of struggled.
You know, no question about it. Burlington jumped out to the big lead and kind of smacked us right in the chin, and we didn't know what to do with it at first. Kind of like when we were down at Galena. We've seen this before. I will say the Trojan defense did in the second half make some stops, and they made some adjustments they needed to make, but we need to finish drives and we need to tackle.
Well, here's how we got to where we did. The Wildcats would start this ball game with the football at their own 37-yard line. They go 3 plays. They'd score on the 3rd play from scrimmage on a 60-yard touchdown run by Cale Johnson. 2-point conversion was good, and at that point it was 8-0. Girard would get the ball back. They'd have a nice drive. Again, back to your point, Dale, with finishing drives. They drive it and run 11 plays, but turn it over on downs. Took 4:02 off the clock. And with 6:05 to play, they give it back to the Wildcats. Wildcats score again. They go 9 plays, cap it off on a 20-yard touchdown pitch and catch from quarterback Brandon Nordstedt to, I believe that was number 2, Brennan Brown. And at that point, they go for 2, can't get it, 14-0. Trojans get it back, an interception to start the second quarter. Burlington gets it right back after that interception. They march it down the field. This time they go 8 plays and cap off a drive that takes more than 3 minutes off the clock, an 11-yard touchdown run by Brennan Nordstedt. The 2-point conversion was good on his run as well, and at 8:14 to play in the first half, the Trojans found themselves in a 22-0 hole. Trojans did answer back, and this was promising as they started their own 18-yard line with 8:03 to play in the first half. They go on that drive. I should have written this down. 13 plays, take 6:03 off the clock, march at 82 yards, and cap it off on a 1-yard touchdown run by Ty Norris. And at that point, it was 22-6. Burlington would get the ball back. And this is, I think, when it started, Dale, some of the things you mentioned as far as getting a stop. That was the first 3 and out of the ball game that the Trojans forced to Burlington to end the first half. Trojans would get the ball back, but only run 1 play, and that was at halftime. And then into the second half, the Trojans 3 and out to begin things, and that's when the Wildcats went on just a monumental drive. All Brennan Nordstedt as they run 19 plays, 74 yards on the drive. They take 9 minutes and 4 seconds off the clock. And the point after attempt was no good. And at that point, it was 28-6. Trojans get it back. They end up turning it over on downs to start the fourth quarter. Burlington gets stopped again. Their first punt, I believe, of the ball game. Second punt of the ball game. Trojans, though, 3 and out. They punt it away. Get it back to Burlington. Another good stop by the Trojan defense after it was a nice drive by Burlington. Trojans do get stiffened a little bit, turn it over on downs. Trojans get the ball back, and they got a chance as they throw a long pass, and it just was a, microcosm of how things went tonight. A 48-yard catch by Evan Troike. He takes about 2 steps, gets tangled up, ball goes popping up in the air. It hangs there for a little while and gathered up by the Wildcats, and they take over on downs at the 25, or take over after the turnover at their own 25-yard line, and then 4 plays later, they bust out a big one, or actually on the start that drive, a big one by the fullback, Jared Lutz, 67 yards, gets him down inside Trojan, deep inside Trojan territory. An 8-yard touchdown run by Cale Johnson. 2-point version was no good, made it 34-6. Trojans get it back, though. Girard at the their own 35-yard line, and they, to their credit, don't quit. Big runs by Creed Curran of 16 yards, and really big run by Chandler Humble of 24 yards. 8-yard carry as well, and Humble gets paid off with a 2-yard plunge with 1:16, makes it 34-12. Wildcats run out the clock, and that's how we would end this ball game. Trojans fall here in a tough one to start district play, 34-12. We will talk to the head football coach of the Girard Trojans, Neil Philpott, when we return right here on the Evans Motors postgame show on Girard Sports Live.
For more than 20 years, Call Service has been serving Southeast Kansas. Right now, Call Service has a huge selection of hand-cooked tires, including hand-cooked Dynapro ATM. Farmers and ranchers trust Call Service as their trucks crisscross Southeast Kansas, providing on-the-farm tire service daily. Plus, Call's is the first stop for lube and oil changes. Get back in the game with your new set of hand-cooked tires, never halfway. Available now at Call Service. Check them out online at callservicellc.com or call 620-724-4121.
This is Trojan football on Girard Sports Live.
Back here on the Evans Motors post-game show, B.J. Harris, Dale Shireman. Here as the Trojans lose at 34-12. Joining us now, the head football coach of the Girard Trojans, Neil Philpott. Coach, is a tough one. This is one that kind of got out of hand early on. You knew what you were coming to get out of this team here in this ball game, and they did exactly what you expected them to do. They did it really well. And then once you dig yourself in a hole, tough to get out of.
Yeah, we struggled to get off the bus in the first quarter. Kind of unfortunately had a little bit of a feeling on that in pregame and in the locker room that we were a little flat. I don't know if the bus drive does that or the week of preparation, because I thought we were pretty dialed in yesterday, did some good things, and then, like I said, we failed to get off the bus in the first quarter, and then by that time it's 22-0. We score, we kind of claw back in there right before halftime, felt like we could come back in the second half and get a first drive and get us right back into it, but we couldn't get off the field in the third quarter. I think you said it, a 9-minute, 19-play drive, 4th and 10, and they throw it down to the 1. Yeah. That's a backbreaker there a little bit. And then we got a big play that we missed, and thought we had this little spark there, and we're right back playing defense again. So honestly, in the second half, I thought our kids played pretty hard. Yeah. I mean, I think our defense, we tackled better, we hit better, we got some more people to the ball, we were setting the edge and filling, and we tried to speed up the game a little bit with throwing the ball. We just didn't connect, and that puts our defense right back on the field, and that was a decision I made to try to do and try to get one in the third quarter there and close the gap a little bit. But it's never feels good, I'll tell you that.
Certainly not. I talked a lot in that broadcast about how squirrely that offense is and how tough it is to broadcast. I hate it. It's not enjoyable at all for me, and it's even tougher to prepare for. Talk about how your guys kind of approach to it, and then it clearly started to click a little bit for those guys in the second half, but it was too late.
Yeah, we went in at halftime and we were doing things we really hadn't done all year on some things. I mean, we worked all week staying low, coming off the ball, and making sure we can get our pad level up to get driven, because that's what they're trying to do. But we overran so many things in the first quarter, in the first half, that we'd set the edge, but we'd have 5 people setting the edge and nobody filling from the inside, and that goes against everything we've been teaching as tackling, as team tackling, and that really hurt to see. But we did a better job of that in the second half, and I think that's why we were able to kind of fit up on some stuff a little bit better. But it's frustrating. Like I said, we worked. We knew what we were going to go against and knew what we were going to get, and they did exactly what we thought they'd do, and we just didn't handle it very well.
Well, watching these guys out here kind of coming together a little bit, and that's something you do have a benefit. I mean, this is a tough one. This was going to hurt, and it feels like more than the margin of loss than maybe you had right there. But you've got a good group of seniors, experienced group of seniors anyways, and how do you expect them to kind of rally around one another? And obviously, still a lot of football left to play.
Yeah, I mean, we're 0-1 in district. We're 2-2 on the season. We got 4 games left in the district, and we got to take one game at a time and claw back into this thing a little bit. I mean, there's a lot of football left, and we got to continue to get better. And it's not where you start, where you finish, and we want to keep working towards that. And you know, we can still have a very good potential to have a good season. We just got to keep getting better each day.
All right, Coach, hopefully you don't have to see that offense again. And those guys are a pretty good team Burlington has right there. Tough loss for your squad here tonight. Try to bounce back next week against Anderson County.
Hope so. Thank you.
Appreciate your time as always. That's the head coach of the Girard Trojans, Neil Philpott, joining us here on the Evans Motors post-game show. We're going to take one more break. We'll come back and wrap things up here from Burlington. The Trojans fall here tonight, 34-12, and you've had a chance to see it here tonight on Girard Sports Live. We'll give your final stats and get out of town. Coach Philpott's interviews is always brought to you by Community National Bank and Trust. Community National Bank and Trust, serving the area for over 30 years. Stop in soon to pick up your very own Girard Trojan Instant Issue Mascot Debit Card. Learn more online at mybankcnb.com.
The Producers Co-op Farm Store is committed to making your life easier by supplying you with the things you need for your farm and home. As always, the Producers Co-op Farm Store has a great selection of farm and ranch supplies, including pet supplies, ranch and corral building supplies and equipment, automatic waterers and feed bunks, tack, dog food, pet and animal health supplies, workwear, boots, and much, much more. Come in and check out the great deals on lots of new merchandise as well. Proudly serving Girard and the surrounding area, and proud to support the Girard Trojans.
For more than 20 years, Call Service has been serving Southeast Kansas. Right now, Call Service has a huge selection of hand-cooked tires, including hand-cooked Dynapro ATM. Farmers and ranchers trust Call Service as their trucks crisscross Southeast Kansas, providing on-the-farm tire service daily. Plus, Call's is the first stop for lube and oil changes. Get back in the game with your new set of hand-cooked tires, never halfway. Available now at Call Service. Check them out online at callservicellc.com or call 620-724-4121.
Community National Bank and Trust has been serving the area for 30 years with a strong commitment to the highest quality leadership and banking services. Stop in soon to pick up your very own Girard Trojan Instant Issue Mascot Debit Card. While you're there, be sure to ask about My Mobile Money and Mobile Banking, Guardian Secure Checking, and People Pay. Learn more online at mybankcnb.com. Community National Bank and Trust is a proud supporter of Girard Schools. Go Trojans!
Crawcan Telephone Cooperative has been serving Girard in Southeast Kansas for 65 years. In 1952, we helped our members connect with each other using telephone lines. Today, we connect our members with the entire world using fiber optics. While the technology has changed, our commitment to deliver it to our members has not. Check us out on the web at ckt.net.
This is Trojan Football on Girard Sports Live.
Back out here one final time here on the Evans Motors post-game show. The Girard Trojans fall here on the road 34-12. Take a look at your final stats. Final stats brought to you by the Bender on 7. Everyone's headed to the Bender for another great post-game celebration. Dale, if you hurry, you'll make it there in time from here. Grab your friends and head to the Bender for a late-night snack and some fun. Bender on 7, Girard's newest and most favorite hangout. Dine in or carry out. Call 620-724-4860 for the Trojans. Chandler Humble had over 100 yards rushing tonight, 111 on 17 carries. Had 52 in the second half for him, 52 on just 5 carries for Chandler. Creed Curran finished with 29 carries and 10 carries for 29 yards. Ty Norris had 11 carries for 67 yards. He was also 3 of 10 passing for 69 yards in the ball game and 1 interception, because that one was a fumble, really. Nordstedt, I didn't get a chance to figure up his yardage. He had 96 on 10 carries in that first half. He finished with 38 carries in the ball game. His second half stats are not going to be great because he had 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12, 20, 6, 27, 27 minus another 6, so 21 yards. He had 21 yards on all those carries, maybe 23 yards. On 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. On 28 carries, he had 23 yards. So it's not like he gashed the Trojans. He just picked his way through and kept the ball running on the ground. Trojans fall here in a tough one on the road at Burlington. We'll be back in action coming up next Friday night. Our pregame coverage will start at 6:30. Our kickoff is scheduled, as always, at 7 o'clock as the Trojans welcome in the Anderson County Bulldogs. And the Trojans need a good one there to have a chance to keep things going or get things going in the right direction. That's going to do it for us tonight here from Burlington. Trojans fall final score 34-12. For my partner Dale Sharman and BJ Harris saying so long and have a great weekend.
This is Trojan football on Girard Sports Live.
Send Saporito in motion. Straight cross, ram pumping. Double move. Derby McReynolds trying to get over there. And he does! What a recovery by Derby McReynolds!
Girard Sports Live is presented by Craw-Can Telephone, your community technology partner. Also by Ag Choice of Hepler, American Family Insurance, Jenny Collins Agency, Bender on 7, Bradshaw Collision Repair, Bumper to Bumper, Call Service, Chicken Annie's Girard, Community National Bank and Trust, Derailed Commodity, Evans Motors, Farm Bureau Financial Services, G&W Foods, Girard Medical Center, Hydrix Appliance, Jagged Edge, Canar Eye Care, Kim Kravitz Photo, Larid Ceramics, Lehman Realty, Mathis Drugstore, McClellan Sanitation, Norris Advertising, Paoni Dental, the Producers Co-op Agronomy Center, the Market 120, and the Producers Co-op Farm Store.
Two wide receivers near side. Curran in the slot. Chitano, the wide out. Norris going to throw it up. He wants Troike over the top. He makes the catch. What a throw! He threw it in the breadbasket of Evan Troike on a rope. What a throw from the 30 down to the 20.
You've been watching Trojan football on Girard Sports Live.